Chapter 183. It's noon in the desert. The sun is baking the sand. There is no wind. However, when Lin Luoran notices the abnormality of the broken wall, she suddenly sees the sand flying all over the sky. The wind comes so suddenly, just like the strange wind when Baojia disappeared. Lin Luoran notices that when Guanjing's eyes have returned to normal after staying in the base for a while. However, Barney and Yaki, who are tied up outside the pillar, are still struggling like two beasts who have lost their minds. Yes, when Guanjing's eyes turned red because he tried to stop the two bushmen from fighting. The problem lies outside the broken wall. As soon as Lin Luoran thinks of this, two water ropes fly out and pull the two bushmen in. Sure enough, the two irascible bushmen gradually calm down. When Guanjing is still scared, "Sister Lin, this place is so weird. Let's get out of here as soon as possible." Lin Luoran smiles bitterly. She points to the violent sandstorm outside and says, "Do you think we can leave now? A sandstorm is coming, flying around the small relic. Lin Luoran and Yaki may be able to break through the sandstorm, but Barney and Yaki are likely to be torn into pieces by the hurricane. Sister Lin, the sandstorm seems to be blocked outside the relic. Is this a shelter built by someone?" When Guanjing thinks of this possibility, Lin Luoran, on the other hand, is not optimistic. Maybe it is because of Yaki's words about the curse of the demon and Baojia's disappearance. Lin Luoran always feels uneasy about this trip. It seems that the relic is protecting us from the sandstorm. However, it seems that it is trying to trap us here, Lin Luoran says calmly. She doesn't want what she said to be true. Otherwise, she will jinx it. Seeing that Yaki and Barney's eyes are no longer red, Lin Luoran loosens their ropes and asks them what happened. Barney thought for a moment. At first he had been whistling a little tune, but when he heard Chief Yaki complaining, he got angry and wanted to tell him to shut up. So they got into a scuffle, and Barney hit him with a stone. Yaki also talks for a while. What he says is that the Bushmen have always been united and friendly. Why would he complain about Barney? There must be a demon behind this. After listening to their conversation, when Guanjing thinks about it. At first, he also felt something. When he tried to stop the two bushmen from fighting, he got impatient and had the idea of violence. His eyes are gradually filled with blood streaks. Lin Luoran remains silent for a while and says, "There must be something that we don't know. Fortunately, we found it early, or else I would have been hurt." She doesn't finish her words, but when Guanjing knows what will happen. Yes, if Lin Luoran loses her mind and becomes violent, no one here will survive except for herself. When Guanjing may be able to hold on for a while, but it is only a matter of time. Even though he is in the later stage of training Qi, he is still far away from the level of laying foundation. When Lin Luoran loses her mind, she will not be able to hold on for long. In fact, the reason why Lin Luoran is safe is that she has a higher level of cultivation. Also, she rarely gets angry. As long as she keeps calm and her spiritual mind is as steady as a mountain, she will be fine. Barney cleans the wound on Yaki's head. They don't care about the fight, but Lin Luoran can't relax. Baojia is missing now. No matter whether the sandstorm is coming for them or trying to trap them here, Lin Luoran can't relax. Yaki murmurs the Bushman's peace spell. Barney does the same. Lin Luoran doesn't stop him. The Bushmen know more about this desert than Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing, two outsiders. However, Zhang Tai didn't know if Yaki and Yaki's peace incantation really worked, as the sandstorm gradually subsided. A smile finally appeared on Yaki's dark and thin face. He touched the big lizard on his waist and felt that the ordeal this time was about to be over. Barney also smiles. Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing look at each other and they both don't look well. Lin Luoran's hearing is better than that of ordinary people. She didn't hear anything when the sandstorm was raging. However, when the sandstorm subsides and the wind dies down, she hears a rustling sound that tickles her heart. What is passing by in a group on the sand? The sandstorm gradually subsides. Lin Luoran looks into the distance. She sees many moving black dots on the dune. When she sees clearly what they are, she feels numb all over her body. A ball of fire appears in Wen Guanjing's hand and he frowns. This sandstorm was indeed like what Senior Sister Lin had said. It was meant to trap them here. Yaki and Barney also saw the approaching army. Both of them were terrified. When Guanjing doesn't care. These little things are useless against two cultivators, scorpions. Those scorpions are moving forward quickly on the sand with their big pincers. Lin Luoran feels her blood freeze. Even though some people in Southeast Asia regard these poisonous insects as a delicacy, no one will feel hungry when the whole dune is covered with black scorpions and there are more reinforcements behind them. Should we go or take a look? When Guanjing starts to ask for Lin Luoran's opinion, a blue light flashes in Lin Luoran's hand. The bright sword suddenly appears in her hand. She says, "Let's go to a higher place and take a look." The bright sword glows and becomes bigger in front of Barney and Wen Guanjing. Lin Luoran jumps on the sword and the light from the sword soars into the sky. Damn it, the earth seems to have a gravitational force. Lin Luoran is forced to fall back after only a few meters. Sister. When Guanjing thinks that something has happened to her, Lin Luoran puts away the bright sword and says, "There seems to be an inhibition here. We are probably trapped here." When Guanjing comes from a famous family. Speaking of cultivation, he is not as powerful as Lin Luoran. However, he knows a lot about cultivation. The Wen family of Zhu Mountain is not only a swordsman, but they also know a lot about inhibition. The most serious thing is that when Guanjing, who knows a thing or two about inhibition, doesn't notice that there is an inhibition here at all. He has been here for a long time, but he doesn't know that Lin Luoran is forced to come back. Sister, we are in trouble. If these scorpions can come in here without any hindrance, just like us. This is what worries Lin Luoran. In the blink of an eye, the army of scorpions is only a few meters away. Lin Luoran tries the wind-riding spell. Well, she can use Reiki, but there seems to be a solid glass cover above their heads. They can't fly forward after a few meters. Barney screams. When Guanjing casts a spell with his right hand and casts a wall of fire in the desert. The scorpions that are crawling fast start to sizzle as soon as they touch the fire. The scorpions are temporarily blocked by the fire. Soon, the scorpion began to emit a tempting aroma. Barney swallowed his saliva and put his mind at ease for the time being. These two Easterners were mysterious, and they were not to be trifled with. With them around, their safety should be guaranteed, right? Yaki is still chanting his peace spell. Lin Luoran feels that things are not so simple. When Guanjing controls his Reiki and tries to sense the inhibition. Unfortunately, he finds nothing. The wall of fire blocks Lin Luoran's sight. Lin Luoran jumps onto a broken stone about 1 meter high. Looking at the black scorpions rushing forward fearlessly, Lin Luoran feels annoyed. If they are trapped, the army of scorpions will be endless. As the saying goes, even a large number of ants can kill an elephant. Both Wen Guanjing and Lin Luoran will run out of Reiki. Even if Lin Luoran can hide in the space, the other three will definitely die. Oh no! Lin Luoran looks at the scorpions from the broken stone. The scorpions have learned their lesson. They start to spray venom from their tails. The venom comes in small streams, and they are threatening to put out the wall of fire. What kind of scorpions are they? When Guanjing uses his Reiki to cast the firewall, which is not an ordinary fire. However, the venom of the scorpions can put out the firewall. Obviously, these scorpions are not ordinary at all. As the controller of the wall of fire, Wen Guanjing can feel the abnormality of the wall. He changes his hand gesture and reduces the range of the wall of fire. The wall can only protect the four of them. He shouts, "Sister Lin, can you try to break the inhibition?" As soon as he reduces the range of the wall of fire, the scorpions get greedy and surround them again. They are sparing no effort in spraying venom. Barney and Yaki are very close to Wen Guanjing. They are afraid that they will be burned by the wall of fire. Of course, they are also afraid of being stung by the scorpions. Lin Luoran nods and summons the bright sword again. The sword is shining with blue light. In this dry and hot desert, many functions of the flying sword of the water family cannot be used, so its power is reduced. Lin Luoran infuses her Reiki into the sword. The bright sword expands quickly, and its surface is covered with a layer of crystal white frost. They are all in the same circle of fire. On one side, they are being roasted by the Reiki fire, and on the other side, they are being chilled by the bright sword. Barney and Yaki are ordinary people, so they are suffering from the fire and ice. Lin Luoran will not let them die. She is not only kind, but also needs to find Baojia and solve the mystery of the murals. The blue light of the bright sword is dazzling. When Lin Luoran is about to cut the void above her head, she sees a commotion among the scorpions. Another black shadow appears on the other side of the hill, when Guanjing also sees it clearly. The two bushmen wish they didn't see it clearly, so Lin Luoran can't ignore it. The army of scorpions makes a way for Lin Luoran. They raise their pincers and bow down, shaking the sand. The eyes of the scorpion are like two red lanterns. Its body is 7 or 8 meters long, and its pincer is thicker than Lin Luoran's waist. Is it also a scorpion? Chapter 184. The scorpions give up their attack temporarily to welcome their king. This is obviously a scorpion king, but it is hard to say whether it has become a monster or not. Lin Luoran holds the hilt of her sword tightly and asks Wen Guanjing, "Do monsters still exist?" When Guanjing's face darkens as if he has seen a ghost, "Sister Lin, the Tao of nature is chaotic and Reiki is violent. Humans also have spells that suppress monsters. Monster cultivators absorb Reiki directly and never transform it. How can they still exist?" He silently corrects Lin Luoran's point of view. It is not a monster. It is a monster cultivator. Lin Luoran looks at the behemoth. If it is not a monster cultivator, then it must be a monster. Some species with strong bodies with special talents are still living well on the earth where Reiki is full of violence, aren't they? For example, Goldie, whom Lin Luoran brought out of the secret land, the giant turtle she saw in the deep sea of Bermuda, and the giant scorpion in front of her. The Scorpion King looks at the three people in the inhibition with its eyes as bright as lanterns. Lin Luoran is ready to stab it at any time if it dares to attack. To Lin Luoran's surprise, the Scorpion King doesn't attack them after it shows up. Instead, it stops the army of scorpions from attacking. Lin Luoran doesn't relax because of this. She thinks for a while and feels that she is in a dilemma. The Scorpion King seems to be intelligent. It is in a stalemate with them. The scorpions are just outside and when Guanjing's firewall is burning. The scorpions will run out of Reiki sooner or later. What a good plan. Lin Luoran snorts. The scorpions can wait, but they can't. They have to get rid of the big one first. She throws a jade to Wen Guanjing. He catches it. He is confused at first, but then he is happy. Lin Luoran has a lot of pills. Lin Luoran puts away the bright sword and casts a spell with her right hand. Are these scorpions not afraid of fire? Let's try something else. In the desert, the water and wood are useless. However, in addition to the fire, there is the earth. The brown light gathers. The Scorpion King has a bad feeling. It commands its army to retreat, but it is obviously too late. Under the guidance of Reiki, the low-key light of the earth bursts out. Spell over. Go. The yellow sand is stirred up. The Scorpion King waves its big pincers and stands its tail upside down. A dark light comes to Lin. At the same time, the damage caused by Lin's spell is finally revealed. A whirlpool suddenly appears on the calm sand dunes. Most of the scorpions are dragged into the sand and many are killed by the tearing force. This spell could only be used by cultivators in the foundation establishment stage. It was mainly of the earth element and supplemented by the metal element. It was called Hurricane Storm. It could mobilize the two elements of spiritual chi to form a powerful pit in the ground, accompanied by a destructive hurricane. The good thing was that it was very powerful. Not only did it destroy most of the scorpions, but even the Scorpion King seemed to have suffered a little. At least half of its body was buried under the yellow sand. The downside is that Lin Luoran narrowly avoids the black light and has no energy left. This is the downside. Even the Wacken of a cultivator in the level of laying foundation will be used up. Spells of mass attack are effective, but they come at a cost. Barney and Yaki look at Lin Luoran in the same way they look at the giant scorpion. Such earth-shattering spells belong to the category of demons. However, when Guanjing's eyes are shining. It is not a common thing for him to see a cultivator in the level of laying foundation fight. Lin Luoran's action has obviously shocked him a lot. The Scorpion King sees that Lin Luoran has killed most of the soldiers and dodged its attack. It struggles out of the sand. As expected, one of its legs is injured and it walks unsteadily. It comes to the wall of fire in a few steps. It gives up on the other 3 people and stares at Lin Luoran as if it is going to eat her. Lin Luoran is not afraid at all. That day, she caught Goldie even though she was not in the laying foundation period. This scorpion is just a little bit rough and looks scary. If they were not trapped here, they would not have to be afraid of it. Lin Luoran doesn't know if these monsters have different levels. Lin Luoran always relies on her intuition to deal with her enemies. She has a feeling that she can't deal with them. She can't tell the level of her enemies if you ask her. The information White Fairy gave her didn't mention it either. The Scorpion King swings its tail again. This time, it is not a black light, but the whole scorpion tail passes through the wall of fire and whips at Lin Luoran. Rather than a whips, it feels more like something as thick as a python. The sword of Bright appears in Lin Luoran's hand instantly. Lin Luoran slashes at the tail with all her strength. The sound of metal colliding with stone comes and sparks fly. The Scorpion King feels pain and withdraws its tail. Lin Luoran sees only a white mark on the tail. The scorpion's tail is not cut off by the sword of Bright. This scorpion is really armored. Not only that, the tail of the Scorpion King is not hurt when it passes through the wall of fire. When Guanjing starts to doubt the power of his wall of fire while absorbing the Reiki inside the jade. The wall of fire can't stop the scorpion. What should she do? Lin Luoran's palms are sweaty. She only has one attack. If she misses, the scorpion will step into the wall of fire and they will be trapped here. They will be living targets. Wen and Lin Luoran may be safe, but the 2 tour guides will not be able to protect them. What can penetrate the shell of the Scorpion King? Lin Luoran squints her eyes and thinks of all the spells she knows. However, there are few spells that can defeat the grade 5 magic weapon, Sword of Bright Snow, in a single attack. The terrain is not suitable either. Looking at the Scorpion King raising its pincers, Lin Luoran has an idea. That's right, why should she attack its shell? The joints are the weakest part. When Guanjing controls the wall of fire to stop the rest of the scorpions. At the same time, he finds the weakness. Sister, attack the joints. The joints. Lin Luoran smiles. In fact, there is another place that is more suitable. With a flash of fire, a bow of nothingness appears in front of Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran puts her right hand on the bowstring and a fiery arrow is formed. It is really easy for a cultivator in the level of laying foundation to cast spells in the level of training chi. The Scorpion King swings its pincers down and Lin Luoran shoots out the fire arrow. At the same time, Lin Luoran jumps off the broken stone and shouts, "Everybody!" Yaki and Barney are frightened by the scene. They huddle together with their heads in their hands. Only when Guanjing is still standing and casting spells. Lin Luoran pounces on Wen and Wen together. The Scorpion King's pincers graze their scalps. The distance between them is less than half a foot. That was close. She gains a lot from this adventure. Lin Luoran's arrow goes into the stinky mouth of the Scorpion King and causes great damage to its internal organs. The Scorpion King's body trembles violently and its big pincers are waving. Lin Luoran has a bad feeling. Just when she has time to set up a shield made of sand, the Scorpion King's big pincers sweep down the towering broken walls and hit on the shield. At the same time, the Scorpion King's pincers fall down. Lin Luoran's shield is too big and every part of the shield is too weak. She bears most of the pressure and spits out blood. The blood stains when Guanjing's clothes. Sister Lin. When Guanjing is worried because he doesn't know how badly Lin Luoran is injured. Lin Luoran wipes the blood from her mouth and tries to smile at him. Suddenly, the ground around them starts to shake violently. Shit! When Guanjing doesn't need to tell them what is wrong. They all know what is wrong. The rock beneath them suddenly sank and a whirlpool of quicksand formed. All 4 of them were sucked into the whirlpool. The struggling Scorpion King could not escape the whirlpool either, and all of them disappeared from the spot. After a quarter of an hour, The wind calms down and the sand calms down. There are only some little scorpions left. The 4 of them, including the Scorpion King, are all gone. This is a flat sand field. It seems that the people and the monsters fighting fiercely have never been here. The scorpions stay for a while and then disperse. Chapter 185. What is the world under the sand dunes like? Was it also the same as the endless soft sand and darkness where one couldn't even see one's own fingers if one were to be buried in it, unable to breathe and suffocating to death in an instant? In fact, it is more like a maze. The tunnels are winding and there are hundreds of intersecting forks. Sometimes they are wide, sometimes they are narrow. Some lead to a safe place and some lead to a dead end. There is a slightly wider fork in the road. There is light on the walls. Lin Luoran doesn't know what kind of luminous substance is in the rocks. In the dim light, the woman lying on the ground finally wakes up. Lin Luoran feels that all her bones are about to fall apart. She supports herself with one hand and sits up slowly. The pain reminds her of what happened before. The relic suddenly collapsed. The ground under their feet turned into sand and became fluid. Even the people and the stones were sucked into the quicksand. This is much more powerful than her hurricane storm. Before they could react, they were all sucked into the quicksand and then lost consciousness. As for the wound on her back, it must be caused by the Scorpion King when it was crazy. Thinking of the Scorpion King, Lin Luoran looks around. The tunnel is shining like gold powder, but she doesn't see Wen Guanjing and the others. It seems that the 4 of them have fallen into different places. Lin Luoran holds back the urge to find them. She throws a circulation bolus into her mouth and holds a piece of jade in each hand to replenish her wacken. It takes her almost an hour to dissolve the medicine. She feels that her internal organs are no longer in pain and she has replenished a lot of wacken. Finally, she stands up. There are 7 or 8 forks in front of her. They are less than 2 feet tall and narrow. Lin Luoran doesn't know which one to choose. However, why is there a faint smell of blood in this fork? Is it possible that someone is injured? Lin Luoran is happy at first, but then she realizes that her spiritual mind is only dozens of meters away from the tunnel. She can't detect what is emitting the smell of blood in the depths of the tunnel. Is she not under the relic, but deeper into the desert? Lin Luoran is guessing. She holds the bright sword in her hand in case she needs it. She walked forward carefully. The tunnel was sometimes wide and sometimes narrow. Although there was a faint light, there was also the sound of water dripping on the ground from time to time. When the water hit the puddle on the ground, there was only an empty echo. Other than that, there was no other sound. It was really a test of courage. After walking for hundreds of meters, Lin Luoran finally sees what the bloody smell is. It turns out that the Scorpion King also fell down. It lies in the middle of the tunnel and there is no gap in the small tunnel. The scorpion is dead. The smell of blood comes from a group of hamsters that are smaller than cats. They are gnawing on the flesh under the shell of the Scorpion King. Lin feels so unlucky. When she is about to turn back, she suddenly has an idea. She remembered that the bright sword had only left a mark on the scorpion's shell. Didn't that mean that it was a top-notch hard object? The whole scorpion was about 7 to 8 meters long. If the scorpion shell was made into armor, everyone in the Lin family would have one. Lin Luoran's eyes light up. She finally feels a little happy. Seeing that the hamsters are looking at her with vigilance, Lin Luoran spreads out her hands and sits nearby with her legs crossed to rest. She has no intention of fighting with the hamsters for food. In her eyes, the hamsters are free labor. As Lin Luoran expected, in less than an hour, the gophers have dug out the inside of the scorpion with their sharp claws and teeth. There is only a complete scorpion shell left. The gophers can't eat it anymore, so they give up. However, the hamsters are obviously not satisfied. They abandon the scorpion shell and attack Lin Luoran, who looks more delicious. After all, Sister Lin is not the Scorpion King. She gives the hamsters a few fireballs to burn them. The hamsters run around and soon disappear in the complicated underground tunnel. Lin Luoran finally puts the scorpion shell into the space and puts it under the fruit tree. However, Lin Luoran finds not only the intact scorpion shell, but also the venom sac left by the hamsters. Lin Luoran doesn't dare to throw it away. She takes out a jade box to divide the venom sac and continues on her way. Since all the forks are similar, Lin Luoran can only go down the tunnel in front of her. The phoenix hairpin in Lin Luoran's palm is shining with blue light. If something goes wrong, the bright sword can attack the enemy at any time. The sound of water dripping reverberated, and the tunnel seemed to have no end. Lin Luoran doesn't notice anything wrong at first. She passes the same place for the third time and finally realizes that she is repeating the same tunnel. A maze? Lin Luoran looks at the burnt hamster's skin on the ground. This is the place where she collects the scorpion shell and burns the hamsters. No wonder she hasn't found a new tunnel. She has been repeating the same tunnel. Lin Luoran hasn't relaxed all the way. Her spiritual mind has been warning her all the time. Unless this place is so weird that it not only restricts the spiritual mind but also disturbs it. Generally, a maze can only affect people's vision. Are these tunnels originally used to deal with cultivators? Lin Luoran simply takes back her spiritual mind. She only uses her eyes to see the way and keeps walking along the tunnel. Sure enough, after walking for only half an hour, she doesn't see the previous traces. She seems to have walked into another fork. In the empty and long tunnel, there are only the sound of water dripping and Lin Luoran's footsteps, which are so light that they can almost be ignored. Without a strong mind, people will go crazy if they walk in such an underground tunnel with only dim light and no distinction between day and night. Lin Luoran has been walking underground like this for 2 days. In such an environment, her watch has long stopped working. She inferred the time according to the maturity of the crops in her space. In the past 2 days, aside from the occasional gophers or ridiculously large ants and insects, she actually did not encounter any danger at all. She doesn't know how big this underground place is. Has the Kalahari Desert not been developed at all? How can such a place be undiscovered? Lin Luoran moves her fingers slightly. A figure flashes on the smooth bead of the phoenix hairpin. Seeing Lin Luoran stop, it quickly hides in the tunnel. Lin Luoran smiles faintly. This little thing has been following her for almost a day. It's time for it to show itself. With a thought, Lin Luoran suddenly disappears. The bead floats in the air for a while and finally falls to the ground. It is gray and inconspicuous. After waiting for a while, a furry thing pops its head at the corner of the tunnel. It seems to be sure that there is no danger and it finally sneaks out. Seeing that Lin Luoran is not there, it doesn't seem to be in a hurry. It sniffs with its nose, but it still can't figure out which fork Lin Luoran went to. Then it scratches its paws and becomes anxious. It jumps to where Lin Luoran used to be. There is still Lin Luoran's smell in the air. It can't be wrong. However, where is Lin Luoran? The little thing lowers its sharp chin and finds the bead lying quietly on the ground. It picks it up with its claws. It looks delicious. When it is about to put the bead into its mouth, Lin Luoran suddenly appears. The bead is gone and a pair of hands full of Reiki grabs the little thing's neck from behind. The little thing squeaks. Lin Luoran raises its head. Is it a fox? It is indeed a cyan fox that is struggling in her hand. Although its fur is cyan, which is different from ordinary foxes, Lin Luoran is confident that she will not mistake a fox for a fox. It turns out that this little thing has been following her for a whole day. But who can tell her how a fox can survive in the tunnel under the desert? There are gophers as big as cats, ants as big as eggs, and scorpions as long as 7 or 8 meters. This is the Kalahari Desert in Africa. It is not a secret land. How can there be so many supernatural creatures? Lin Luoran is confused. She is not sure if there are any secret land. Of course, there is also a fox. What can a fox do? It is so skinny. Even if Lin Luoran has the heart to kill it, it won't get much meat. She has to let it go. Hey, I'll let you go. Can you stop following me? Lin Luoran has been holding back for so long that she feels confused. She can't believe that she talks to a fox. However, what makes Lin Luoran's eyes almost pop out is that the cyan fox nods and keeps bowing to Lin Luoran. What? It can understand human language? This is not an ordinary fox. Lin Luoran uses her clear sight to look into its body. The cyan fox seems to feel something and it starts to tremble uneasily. Be good. I won't hurt you. Lin Luoran comforts it. Lin Luoran doesn't know whether the cyan fox really believes Lin Luoran or it feels that there is no way to escape. The fox really stops moving. What? The cyan fox is indeed strange. There is some Reiki in its blood, but it is less than that of the old monkey. It doesn't seem to know any powerful skills. Lin Luoran wonders what it eats to survive in the underground. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and puts the fox down. Little thing, don't follow me anymore. Do you understand? Even though the fox is a little strange, Lin Luoran is not going to take everything home with her. Lin Luoran has something to do and she doesn't have time to play with the cyan little fox. She has to let it go. The cyan fox can understand human language. Being put on the ground by Lin Luoran, it doesn't attack her. However, after hearing Lin Luoran's words, it shakes its head as if it wants to follow Lin Luoran no matter what. Lin Luoran is angry and amused at the same time. She just ignores it and keeps searching in the tunnel. The cyan fox follows Lin Luoran closely. It doesn't want to get close to Lin Luoran, but it is also afraid that Lin Luoran will leave it behind. Lin Luoran turns a blind eye to it and continues to eat and rest. The cyan fox rolls its eyes and disappears into the tunnel in a blink of an eye. Lin Luoran looks at it and decides to leave. But just as she rested for a while and was about to leave, the green-skinned fox hopped in front of her again. It held something in its little paws and placed it in front of her. It jumped far away and looked at her with a hopeful and vigilant gaze. Lin Luoran looks down. It is something like a tuber. Lin Luoran feels it is familiar. She can't be sure just by looking at it, so she picks it up and smells it. There is a light smell of medicine. It is indeed the medicine she knows. However, who can tell her that sealwort grows in the desert? Chapter 186. What the fox puts on the ground is indeed sealwort, and it is over 100 years old. This little thing is so smart. Lin doesn't know where it found it and threw it in front of her. Lin Luoran has heard some stories about foxes returning favors. However, she is sure that she has never helped this little fox. Since it doesn't want to repay her favor, does it want to ask for her help? Usually, Lin Luoran would be patient to figure out the fox's intention. However, at this moment, Lin Luoran has been searching for Wen Guanjing and others for 2 days without any clues, let alone Baojia. How can she have the patience to deal with this little fox? Lin Luoran doesn't take the sealwort. The little fox is anxious and angry. Its round eyes are shining with tears. It doesn't even want the sealwort anymore. It turns around and runs away. Soon, it disappears in the complicated tunnel. Lin Luoran sighs. If it is possible, she would like to help this little fox. However, looking at the back of the little fox, Lin Luoran feels sorry. She doesn't look at the sealwort and continues to walk forward. Lin Luoran doesn't know where these tunnels lead to. Is it natural or man-made? It seems that these tunnels have nothing to do with the murals they are looking for. Lin Luoran doesn't know where Baojia is now. After walking for half a day, Lin Luoran hears something behind her. She turns around and sees the little fox again. Its shiny fur is stained with mud, and its claws are full of black mud. The fox is holding a bigger sealwort and looking at Lin Luoran pitifully. Oh, it hasn't given up? Looking at its appearance, this sealwort was most likely found by itself. This green-skinned fox was quite capable. Lin Luoran waved her hand and said, "You can go back now." The fox kowtows again and again. Seeing that Lin Luoran doesn't move, it leaves the sealwort and runs away just like last time. Lin Luoran checks the sealwort. It is also 300 years old. Lin Luoran doesn't know where the fox found it. However, she has a lot of things to deal with and she can't spare any time to help it. Lin Luoran tells herself a lot of reasons to convince herself in her mind, forcing herself to harden her heart. Half a day later, Lin Luoran doesn't know why she slows down. As she expected, the fox catches up with her for the 3rd time. Lin Luoran stops and looks at it. It is still holding a piece of sealwort in her hand. It is smaller than the previous 2 pieces. However, Lin Luoran can feel the abundant Reiki in the sealwort from such a long distance. Therefore, this sealwort must be 700 or 800 years old. I told you I can't help you. Why do you have to do this? Lin Luoran sighs and feels sorry for him. The fox holds the sealwort in front of Lin and asks her to take it. Lin forces herself to turn around. After a few steps, she still can't make up her mind. She looks back and finds that the fox doesn't leave. It is standing there with the sealwort in its hands. There is a puddle of water on the ground and water drops from its head. Fox tears? Lin Luoran notices that one of the fox's feet is not normal. Its fur is stained with more mud. The smell of medicine can't cover up the faint blood stains. Is it hurt? Lin Luoran can't help but turn around and walk back. The little fox raises its head and looks at her. It has a pointed chin and its eyes are wet. It is crying. "Hey, did you find this?" Lin Luoran's voice startles the crying fox. It is afraid that Lin Luoran doesn't believe that it found the sealwort. It picks up the sealwort and smells it. Then it makes a gesture of digging the ground with its claws. Lin Luoran is confused. Is this fox an expert in finding medicine? You brought the sealwort to me 3 times. Do you need my help? Lin Luoran squats down and uses a cleaning spell to clean the dirt on the fox. The fox nods, thinking that Lin Luoran has changed her mind. It pushes the sealwort to Lin Luoran. Seeing that Lin Luoran doesn't take the sealwort, the fox is anxious. Its right foot is injured. This is the best medicine it can find. If Lin Luoran can't be moved by it, the fox will be helpless. Lin Luoran's heart softens. She holds the fox in her arms and comforts it. "I'll take your sealwort. What can I do for you?" Lin Luoran puts the sealwort into her space. A green light flashes on her right hand and covers the fox's injured right foot. The fox is only injured. Lin Luoran doesn't need to use the healing spell. She just needs some wood reiki to stop the bleeding and recover. "Tell me, what do you want me to do?" The fox rubs itself in Lin Luoran's arms and points the way with its claws. It tells Lin Luoran to go to a tunnel nearby. Lin Luoran holds the fox tightly and walks to the tunnel at a faster speed. The fox seems to be tired along the way, but it tries not to fall asleep. Lin Luoran doesn't know what happened to the fox that made it want her, a human, for help. The sealwort it brings is older and older. The fox's expressions are vivid and it can understand Lin Luoran's words. It seems to be very intelligent. Lin Luoran wonders what kind of fox it is. It must be the 3rd time it went to find sealwort. If Lin Luoran knew this, she would have agreed to help it earlier. Lin Luoran knows that being soft-hearted is a taboo. However, she can't turn a blind eye to such a weak fox. Lin Luoran and the fox don't stop. Lin Luoran keeps going. After many turns, the cyan little fox raises its ears and jumps out of Lin Luoran's arms. Seeing that the cyan little fox is tiptoeing, Lin Luoran holds her breath and moves forward quietly. There are many round holes on both sides of the tunnel. Seeing that the cyan little fox cares about them, Lin Luoran is very careful. After a few steps, Lin Luoran sees an open cave in front of her. A white fox, a little bigger than the cyan little fox, is hanging on the wall of the cave. Its slightly trembling claws prove that it is still alive. Did the cyan little fox ask her to save this white fox? Lin Luoran looks down and sees that the cyan little fox is pointing at the white fox, scratching its ears and claws anxiously. It should be easy to save the white fox from such a height. Is there something else? Lin Luoran casts a ray of golden light on her fingertip, and the vines binding the white fox are broken. Lin Luoran gently catches the white fox. The cyan little fox is very happy. It rushes to Lin Luoran and gently pats the white fox like a human. At this moment, a big net falls from the top of the cave, covering the human and the 2 foxes. Many creatures with tails come out of the round holes. They are the gophers Lin Luoran saw before. The creatures underground are really amazing. Not only the highly intelligent cyan fox, but also the gophers can make traps. Lin Luoran holds the 2 foxes in her arms. She looks at the gophers, wondering what they are going to do. A gopher, as big as a leopard, walks out of the cave surrounded by other gophers. Its whiskers are all white, indicating that it has lived for many years. It stares at the 2 foxes in Lin Luoran's arms with disgust. Seeing this, Lin Luoran can guess what is going on. It seems that the two foxes have a grudge against the gophers. They catch the big one and are trying to lure the small one into the trap. Gophers are so smart. What is the advantage of human beings? For example, the gophers are not good at weaving the net. Lin Luoran looks at the trembling cyan little fox in her arms and touches its head. Don't be afraid. They are no match for me. Chapter 187. Lin Luoran has seen the sharp teeth of the gophers. Now that she has figured out the situation, she won't wait for the gophers to get close to her. She stretches out the bright sword and cuts open the big net on her head. The white-bearded earth rat is furious. It commands the earth rats to rush at Lin. The situation is different from the time when Lin was attacked by the scorpion army. Lin has limited space to move. Besides, the earth rats have sharp teeth and can't spit venom like the scorpions do. With one slash of her sword, all the earth rats that come at Lin are cut off and die on the spot. Seeing the flesh and blood of their own kind, the gophers become crazy. They rush at Lin Luoran in groups. The cyan little fox is so scared that it buries its head in Lin Luoran's arms. Lin Luoran builds a firewall around her. The gophers inside the firewall are killed by Lin Luoran. With the firewall as a barrier, the gophers can't get in. Lin Luoran gathers a beam of red light in her hand. It is the first movement of the fire arrow spell. She must kill the leader first. If the gophers don't know what to do, Lin Luoran will have to shoot the leader of the gophers to get rid of the trouble. The fiery bow appears in the air. The gopher can feel the power of the arrow even though it is surrounded by hundreds and thousands of gophers. In this confrontation with Lin Luoran, the gophers only hold on for a few seconds. The fire is burning and the cave is full of burn marks. Since the gophers know how to set traps to catch foxes, how can they not see the situation clearly? It took the lead and disappeared into the omnipresent round hole. Soon, the rats retreated back into the round hole like a tide, just like how they came. Lin Luoran doesn't know where the holes lead to. She has no grudge against them, so she doesn't want to kill them. After a while, Lin Luoran puts down the two foxes after making sure no gophers return. The white fox is still lying on the ground, half dead. The cyan little fox begs Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran squats down to check on the white fox. Its blood and chi are exhausted, not because of injury, but because of the limit of its lifespan. In other words, the white fox can't be saved. Seeing the cyan little fox's pitiful look, Lin Luoran sends a mass of wood reiki into the white fox's body. Though it can't save it, it can at least bring it back to life. The white fox wakes up slowly, and the cyan little fox cries with joy. Tears roll down from its eyes, making it look both pitiful and lovely. It doesn't know that the white fox is just alive with the help of Lin's wood reiki. It only thinks that the white fox is fine. How can it be unhappy? The white fox is frightened when it sees the cyan little fox in front of it. It doesn't think that the cyan little fox can save it. It thinks that the cyan little fox is also caught and the two foxes are locked together by the gophers. Then it notices Lin Luoran. After a moment of surprise, it looks at her with vigilance, as if she is scarier than the gophers. Foxes are suspicious by nature. Lin Luoran has expected the reaction of the white fox. Lin Luoran doesn't mind. She waits for the cyan little fox to explain in a language that Lin Luoran doesn't understand. The white fox looks at Lin Luoran with vigilance, but it is much softer now. Lin Luoran looks at them and says, "You'd better get out of here." She has to find Baojia and Wenguanjing, so she can't waste any more time. Though the two foxes look pitiful, she can't take care of them all the time. Lin Luoran tries to persuade them to leave. However, when she turns around, the cyan little fox holds her feet and screams. It is gesturing with its hands. Lin Luoran doesn't know what it is trying to say. The cyan little fox drags it to the other end of the cave. Lin Luoran has to follow it. There is a light smell of medicine. Lin Luoran sees that there is a small cave in the big gopher's cave. There are green plants that look like ginger leaves. Lin Luoran knows that they are the leaves of sealwort at first glance. There are hundreds of sealworts planted in the cave. They are of different ages, but most of them are over 100 years old. What's more, there are traces of digging around. The soil has been moved, and many leaves are broken. Is it possible that the sealworts that Cyan Little Fox asked Lin Luoran for help are actually stolen from gophers? If so, they can't blame the gophers for catching the white fox. No, it doesn't make sense. Lin Luoran suspects that she has done something bad with her good intention. She asks coldly, "The sealwort that you brought earlier, was it dug here?" Lin Luoran lowers her head and asks again. She hopes that the Cyan Little Fox can answer no. Such a large sealwort forest is more likely to be planted by gophers. The Cyan Little Fox can understand human language, but it can't distinguish the tone of a conversation like a human. It doesn't know that Lin Luoran is angry. Instead, it nods happily. Lin Luoran feels cold. She is afraid that she has wronged the fox, so she continues to ask, "Was the white fox caught for stealing sealworts?" The Cyan Little Fox nods and then shakes its head. It can't explain it clearly. Lin Luoran gets the answer she wants. Sure enough, this time, she was too presumptuous to be a good person. She was prejudiced and thought that the gophers were cruel, so she thought that the two foxes were the victims and killed many of the gophers. Now, it seemed that the two foxes were the ones who stole people's sealwort. The Cyan Little Fox asks Lin Luoran to pick sealworts again. Lin Luoran is unhappy and leaves. The Cyan Little Fox looks around, wondering what it did wrong. Finally, it hears the long sigh of the white fox. The Cyan Little Fox feels wronged and throws itself into the arms of the white fox. The white fox pats its back like a human, showing a mixture of love and sadness. After a while, the Cyan Little Fox realizes that it is not a good place to stay. It runs to the small cave to pick up a sealwort and helps the white fox to leave the gopher's territory. The gophers seem to be moving again. Lin Luoran emerges from the void and stares at the thousands of round holes with cold eyes. The gophers immediately calm down. It seems that the combination of mini-world and breath-holding spell works really well. The only drawback is that the breath-holding spell will lose its effect as soon as she moves. The mini-world can hide her body, but it can't hide her breath. Lin Luoran wonders if the breath-holding spell can be improved. She puts this idea aside and follows the fox from a distance. Why does she follow the fox that lied to her? Lin Luoran doesn't know why. After all, she is soft-hearted. She is afraid that the gophers will eat them alive when she leaves. Forget it. Anyway, it is a waste of time. She might as well do a good deed. She follows them from a distance, following the two foxes through the complex tunnel. The sealwort with good Reiki acts as a guiding light from a distance. It's very competent. Maybe because the white fox is not in good health, the Cyan Little Fox holds it all the way and walks slowly. About 2 hours later, they pass through a cave that looks like an arched moon gate and disappear in front of Lin Luoran. The ripples that flashed across the surface looked like a restriction. Lin Luoran doesn't want to go in at the moment. She stops by the gate and looks inside. It is a cave with a radius of about 1 or 2 meters. The ground is covered with soft grass. There are some medicinal materials scattered on the ground. They all look good. There are also several blooming flowers with a tunnel-like luminous substance. They may be the unique creatures of the underground world. Lin Luoran doesn't know them. Logically speaking, Lin Luoran has done her best to escort them home secretly. At this time, she should be able to look for Baojia and the others without worries. However, she sees something similar to inhibition at the door of the two foxes' house. This is strange. She has checked the Cyan Little Fox's body and found that the white fox's blood and chi are also exhausted. Are these two foxes actually monster cultivators who have achieved great cultivation? Is it possible that she is wrong? Lin Luoran feels that her mouth is dry. Are they really cunning? Have they been scheming against her since the beginning? She looks inside carefully and sees Cyan Little Fox mashing the sealwort and some other herbs it brought back. Human race is very careful in making elixirs. Even though it is just making medicine, it will not scratch its ears and think about the quantity of herbs, let alone the fox. Does it steal the medicine to prolong the life of the white fox? If that was the case, then it was still understandable. Lin Luoran can't help but nod slightly. She values her parents very much. Seeing the other worldlings have such feelings, she can't help but feel less disgusted. However, why are the medicinal materials it chooses all nourishing blood and essence? Is there a mistake? Lin Luoran has made elixirs herself. Besides, she has some knowledge of medicinal materials since she was a child. She is confused when she sees that the medicinal materials the cyan little fox is fiddling with are not for the white fox. With confusion and curiosity, Lin Luoran continues to watch without moving. The cyan little fox fiddled with it for more than half an hour. With a reluctant expression, it reluctantly mixed the medicine into a dark green paste. However, it didn't give it to the white fox immediately. Instead, it put the paste aside and pulled up a pile of weeds in the corner. A corner of the cloth is exposed. Lin Luoran can't help but feel her eyelids twitch. The cyan little fox pulls out a person from the pile of weeds. The person is lifeless. Lin Luoran can't be wrong about his clothes. Seeing the cyan little fox bouncing around and applying the medicine to the person, Lin Luoran pinches her own thigh. Isn't this Wen Guanjing? Did the two foxes steal the medicine to save people? Lin Luoran feels ashamed. It is said that foxes are cunning. In fact, it is nothing for her to think about foxes in this way. Now Lin Luoran has no face to hide anymore. She tries the inhibition and it seems that there is no danger. Then she walks in. Seeing Lin Luoran's sudden appearance, the white fox is not surprised. It seems that it has known that Lin Luoran is outside. However, the cyan little fox jumps up and expresses its surprise and joy. Today both lists are full. Pe can't make a decision, but he wants to beg for red votes and book reviews. Chapter 188. I seem to have wronged you. It is easy for Lin to admit her mistake, but she is too shy to apologize to the two foxes. Lin realizes that she is not always right. She feels guilty. The white fox stares at her quietly and doesn't say anything. The cyan little fox is too young to understand people's minds. It doesn't know why Lin has wronged them, but it is happy to see Lin again. Lin Luoran looks at the fox apologetically. Humans are such strange creatures. In fact, it is not good for the fox to steal sealwort even if it is to save someone. However, if the person it is trying to save is someone it knows, the fox will be on its side. This is the inherent side of human nature. Lin Luoran can't avoid it. She squats down to check on Wen Guanjing. Lin Luoran can tell that Wen Guanjing is in a bad condition. She is worried. It's so hot. No wonder he looks lifeless from afar. Wen Guanjing's bloody face is like a stove. His complexion is abnormal. Lin Luoran touches his forehead and finds that it is burning hot. Even a cultivator in the level of training Qi can't have a fever for no reason because of his physique. The wounds on Wen Guanjing's body look terrible, but most of them have stopped bleeding with the help of the two foxes. There must be something wrong with his body. Lin Luoran puts her Reiki into Wen's body through his wrist. As soon as Reiki enters his body, she is shocked by the violent fire Reiki inside his body. How can the fire Reiki be so powerful? If Lin Luoran is not in the level of laying foundation and the Reiki inside her body is one level higher than Reiki, she would have been bitten by Reiki. If Lin Luoran wants to save Wen Guanjing, she has to know how he becomes like this. If such a huge amount of fire Reiki stays in Wen Guanjing's body for a while, his cultivation will be destroyed. Where did you find him? Judging from the wounds on Wen's body, the two foxes must have saved him for a long time. Maybe they were the first ones to find him. The white fox is sick and almost dead. It lives on Lin Luoran's wood Reiki. Naturally, it has no energy to take Lin Luoran out. The cyan little fox is responsible for this task. Lin Luoran and the fox go out of the cave. The water ripples. Lin Luoran doesn't know how this seemingly harmless prohibition can protect her. The cyan little fox seems to be very familiar with this area. It leads Lin through all kinds of tunnels and soon comes to a place. The cyan little fox stops when it is still a distance away from Wen Guanjing. Lin feels the strong fire Reiki. It is very similar to the Reiki inside Wen Guanjing's body. Lin asks the cyan little fox to stay outside and walks in carefully. There is no fire as she imagined. Instead, the cave is lit up by the fire. However, the temperature is very high. Lin Luoran hasn't sweated for a long time. She is sweating now. This is a cave that extends downward. The walls of the cave are illuminated by the fire. Lin Luoran thinks that there must be a raging fire at the bottom of the cave. However, when she pokes her head out, there is only a small flame burning quietly at the bottom of the cave. Lin Luoran feels that the bright sword is beating uneasily in her hand. The Sword of Bright Snow is a grade 5 water magic weapon and it can grow. It is not strange that the flying sword has a spirit. However, since Lin got it, she has never felt so uneasy. What is that small flame? Water and fire repel each other. The small flame makes the bright sword feel uneasy. Lin Luoran can't help but think of the word, strange fire. It is mentioned in the introduction of swords. Strange fire is the help of elixirs and weapons. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that there is only fire reiki inside Wen Guanjing's body. Does Wen Guanjing have a single Taoist root of the fire? Lin Luoran recalls that Wen Guanjing only used magic figures when they first met each other in the back alley of the Bluebird Club and in the Secret Land. Wen Guanjing only used magic figures and other spells related to the fire. It seems that he really has a single Taoist root of the fire. No wonder he has reached the later stage of training Qi at the age of 30. In the current world of cultivation, he is already extremely fast, not including Lin Luoran, who has a cheating device. Lin Luoran looks around the cave. There are many sharp rocks on the walls. It seems that Wen Guanjing's wounds are caused by the cliffs. Maybe he fell down to the bottom of the cave. Since he has the introduction of sword, and has the Taoist root of fire, he certainly knows how precious the strange fire is. Maybe Wen Guanjing tried to collect the strange fire. Maybe he did it wrong or his cultivation was not high enough, so something went wrong? Lin Luoran can only guess. Wen Guanjing obviously failed. Not only did he fail to take the strange fire, but he also suffered from the backfire. Now, Lin Luoran can either straighten out the fire reiki inside his body or take the strange fire out. Thinking of this, Lin Luoran is stunned. She raises her right hand and looks at the bead. It is still the same. Since she laid her foundation in the blood pool, she feels that the bead has become more obedient. In the past, when the bead found reiki, it must have absorbed it crazily. For example, when it absorbed the reiki from the jade bought by Fatty Chui for the first time, it was so thirsty as if it had been starving for hundreds of years. At that time, when Lin Luoran asked it to make a jade for Commander Qin, the bead was reluctant. However, when Lin Luoran got the jade, the bead was converted into reiki without any embezzlement. Is it because the bead needs more reiki, or has it become obedient? Lin Luoran decides to have a try. She jumps into the cave. The heat of the strange fire makes her cheeks red and she smells that her hair is burning. Lin Luoran approaches it carefully, but the bead still doesn't respond. Lin Luoran is confused. When she looks down, she finds that some shiny things under the ground around the strange fire attract her attention. She can't take the strange fire, but what about these shiny things? Lin Luoran is stunned. She touches the shiny things with her fingers, but she regrets when her fingers touch the crystals. However, the scene of them being burned did not appear. These things were actually cold around the deviant flame. The first thing that comes to Lin Luoran's mind is the small lake in the North Pole. In the boiling water of the lake, ice grass grows. All kinds of treasures go hand in hand. These crystals must be good stuff. Lin Luoran digs one out with the bright sword and puts it in her palm. A cold feeling spreads to her entire arm. It is clear but not bone-piercing. The whole crystal is diamond-shaped with many edges. It is bright red, like a well-polished diamond of fire, very bright. Even if this thing is not a relic, its appearance is enough to drive many girls crazy. When Lin Luoran tries to explore it, her expression changes. She withdraws her reiki immediately. The cold and bright crystal contains a huge amount of fire reiki. Lin Luoran feels that it has been absorbing the strange fire for a long time, just like when she explored Wen Guanjing's body. Although the power of the strange fire is contained inside, Lin Luoran still feels a lot of pressure by staying beside it with her reiki. She doesn't dare to take the strange fire yet, but she can't let go of the diamonds of fire. The bright sword obediently turns into a hoe. Lin Luoran digs happily. At last, she looks at the diamonds of fire in front of her. She doesn't smile, but feels a little happy. She seems to be luckier than ordinary people. She can find good things every time. However, the danger she has been through. In fact, she always takes the courage to walk on a tightrope to get these treasures. Lin Luoran is not greedy. When Guanjing has a single Taoist root of the nature of fire, and now he is unconscious because of the strange fire. Lin Luoran will not be greedy and try to subdue this strange fire. Before she has a complete solution, she will be lying if she says she is not tempted. With the strange fire, she can not only make elixirs, but also refine weapons. After putting all the diamonds of fire into the space, Lin Luoran stands up to check if there are any other treasures. What she doesn't know is that the moment she puts the diamonds of fire into the space, a red light flashes above the inhibition of the cabin. The proud fire phoenix shows up. The silver fish also shows up. The fire phoenix looks at the diamonds of fire on the ground. Its cold eyes become a little bit relaxed, as if the diamonds of fire are something it wants to eat. Seeing that the phoenix is eager to try, the silver fish clumsily hugs the phoenix with its fins and shakes its head. The fire phoenix shows a regretful expression, but it doesn't move. Since Lin Luoran laid her foundation in the blood pool, the two have been moved by her. Therefore, they have restrained themselves a lot. They don't manipulate the bead to take advantage of Lin Luoran. However, Lin Luoran can't figure it out by herself. If it had not happened, who would have believed that the two cold and emotionless beings, who did not have any sign of life, would be moved and admire a man because of his persistence in adversity and desperation? The fire phoenix looks at the diamonds on the ground. It is greedy, but it restrains itself. Outside the space, Lin Luoran has no idea what is going on. She finds the last diamond of fire. It is very big and it is inlaid next to the strange fire. After digging out this one, Lin Luoran can go back and figure out how to save Wen Guanjing. Yes, Lin Luoran says to herself. The tip of the bright sword touches the hot ground. The fire phoenix seems to feel something. It retracts its eyes from the crystal and turns to the mist in the void, showing a happy and worried expression. Unfortunately, this space is not only its home but also a shackle that it can't escape from. It has no right to go out. What? This diamond of fire is much bigger. Lin Luoran smiles. These are all rare cultivation resources. She will never complain about having more. Chapter 189. Thank you for your votes, comments, and tips. Priz always speechless at times like this. She can only try her best to write a better book to repay everyone. Boom! Even though Lin Luoran has reacted instantly and hid in the space, a trace of strange fire still gets into her body. It boils in her pubic region of Ocean of Reiki and disturbs the Wacken Nebula that is running separately. Lin Luoran stands in the space dumbfounded, not because of the abnormality in her body, but because of the two animals above the cabin. Are they really animals? In fact, the fire phoenix and the silverfish are even more wronged than Lin Luoran. The fire phoenix is both jealous and worried about the strange fire. However, it doesn't expect that Lin Luoran hides into the space as soon as the fire touches her body. They don't even have time to hide. Lin Luoran doesn't know the fire phoenix, but the silverfish is the one that found the ice grass. Lin Luoran stares at the two creatures floating above the cabin. The fire phoenix and the silverfish come back to themselves. The fire phoenix looks at the diamond of fire on the ground with pity and disappears with the silverfish. Lin Luoran feels a burning sensation inside her body. She rushes to the space and knocks on the inhibition. She murmurs, "Come out, come out." It turns out that there are two creatures living in her space that she doesn't even know about. How can they get in and out of the cabin freely? Hey, this is so unfair. If Lin Luoran were not introverted, she would really want to grab the fire phoenix and the other two animals and cry. What kind of inheritance is this? There is no cultivation method at all. She has to explore her cultivation blindly. She doesn't know anything about this cabin, but it is clear that she can get in and out of it. Why can the silverfish, a latecomer, come in and out freely? Lin Luoran has worked so hard to beautify the space and develop crops. Why can't she get in and out of the cabin freely? Lin Luoran knocks on the inhibition for a long time. The inhibition is smooth and bouncy like QQ candy. Every time Lin Luoran rushes to it, she is bounced off. The strange fire is burning inside her body. Lin Luoran knocks on the inhibition for a while. She wonders if she is losing her mind. How can she do such a childish thing? Let's make a deal. Can you put away the strange fire? Lin Luoran doesn't know whether she is talking to the space or the two creatures in the cabin. There is no response for a long time, which makes Lin Luoran feel disappointed. The chaotic fire Reiki in her body makes her miserable. She walks to the edge of the pool and sits down next to the ice grass. She is ready to refine the violent and powerful fire Reiki under the suppression of the extreme cold. The ice grass stretches its few leaves. The small flower bud hiding in the middle is shy. Lin Luoran's approach brings it back to its previous growth environment. It shakes its long leaves with nostalgia. However, the tree of the flame fruit is the happiest. Feeling the fire Reiki from Lin's body, the tree greedily absorbs it. Red threads come out of Lin Luoran's body and quickly go to the roots of the flame fruit. The leaves are still green, but there is a red light flashing in the branches. The fire phoenix sneaks its head out and burps comfortably. How long has it been since the last time it ate? Thinking of this, the fire phoenix feels sad. Yes, it hasn't eaten anything for many years. Lin Luoran also swallowed the flame fruit that it used to smell. It seems that the fire phoenix woke up one day when it sensed the call of fire Reiki. Between eternal sleep and hunger, the fire phoenix feels that the former is more serious, so it doesn't get angry. Lin Luoran closes her eyes and knows nothing about what the fire phoenix is doing. She is just touching the fire Reiki, not trying to subdue the strange fire like when Guanjing. Fortunately, there is not much fire Reiki in her body, so she can suppress it for now. But what about when Guanjing? Lin Luoran wants to stay in the space until the strange fire calms down or the fire Reiki in her body is completely refined. However, when Guanjing's situation is not optimistic. Lin Luoran guesses that when she finishes refining the fire Reiki in her body, when Guanjing will be burnt into ashes. It would be great if the space could absorb Reiki as soon as it sees them. As soon as this idea comes to Lin's mind, the fire phoenix chirps happily. It opens its mouth and sucks out all the fire Reiki in Lin's body. The fire Reiki in Lin's body is sucked into the phoenix's mouth. The phoenix burps. Lin Luoran opens her mouth. She is sure that she heard it right, felt it right, and saw it right. The restless fire Reiki in her body is eaten by the fire phoenix. Fukin, go and eat the strange fire. Go. Lin Luoran stutters, but the fire phoenix does understand her. It ignores the silverfish's worry and appears above the cabin. With its long and gorgeous tail, it circles around the cabin and chirps happily. Is this the chirp of a phoenix? The melodious chirp is like the most gorgeous brocade in the world, echoing above the space. After all, this is a proud fire phoenix. Hearing Lin Luoran's questioning tone, its hesitant heart is immediately filled with anger. After showing off to its heart's content, the fire phoenix bursts into flames. This is a kind of fire that is completely different from the strange fire. It is the natural ability of the phoenix, the nirvana fire. Lin Luoran feels that this feeling is somewhat familiar, including the cry of the phoenix. Yes, when she was in the underwater mausoleum, she was about to be possessed by the dead woman in white. When her spiritual mind was in a coma, she heard the clear cry of the phoenix, which awakened her unwillingness to admit defeat and awakened her spiritual mind. Under the fire of the spirit of the dead woman in white, Lin Luoran felt like she was reborn. She had the last bit of vitality and turned the situation around to win the difficult victory. Now it seems that the fire phoenix is the one that saved her that day. Lin Luoran regrets what she said. She is about to take back her words when the fire on the phoenix becomes more and more intense. Suddenly, a red thread falls from the misty sky and falls into the mouth of the fire phoenix. Lin Luoran stands up immediately. It is the strange fire. The fire phoenix is using a secret spell to cross the barrier of space and swallow the strange fire. Lin Luoran is moved by the phoenix's courage and worries about its recklessness. Obviously, Lin Luoran is not the only one who is worried. After spending so much time with the phoenix, the silver fish naturally knows how powerful the fire phoenix is. Its roommate was probably injured many years ago. It may look powerful, but it is too difficult for the phoenix to swallow the strange fire. The strange fire is stretched into a thread and falls from the sky. The fire on the phoenix is getting hotter and hotter. Lin Luoran is worried that the phoenix will cook her. Isn't fire the best phoenix? Why does it seem to be having a hard time? Sometimes Lin Luoran has sharp eyes. She accidentally sees through the fire phoenix, which is a paper tiger. It is a pity that she can't help the phoenix at all. The silver fish sees that the fire phoenix is greedy and wants to swallow the whole strange fire. If the fire backfires, the silver fish's soul will be destroyed. At the critical moment, the silver fish jumps up and swings its beautiful tail at the fire phoenix. It actually used the power of this pull to interrupt the fire phoenix's action of swallowing the strange flame, which was of a completely opposite nature. The fire phoenix looks at the silver fish reluctantly and gratefully. It is so full that it has to go back to digest. The fire phoenix dives into the inhibition and disappears from the cabin. The silver fish also disappears, leaving Lin Luoran in disbelief. Hey, it has absorbed half of the strange fire. What should she do now? Staring at the fire in the air, Lin Luoran wants to cry but has no tears. She was just worried about the feathered beast and now the karma is coming. The fire phoenix was interrupted by the silver fish, so there is still half of the strange fire left. The phoenix loses its aim and flies in the air. Wherever the fire goes, the spirit herbs will be burned. Lin Luoran really wants to rush into the cabin and fight with the irresponsible fire phoenix. Seeing the fire coming at her, Lin Luoran is so angry that she can't help but run away. After chasing after her for a few steps, the fire thread actually stopped. Isn't this the place where she put the diamonds of fire? Sure enough, all the species that live together have beautiful adultery. Seeing that the fire stops, Lin Luoran feels that it has found its home. It took her a lot of effort to collect the diamonds of fire. She can't let the strange fire take advantage of them. Lin Luoran saves a few diamonds of fire. The fire falls down from the sky. In the middle of the diamonds of fire, the fire is still the same, but the total amount is smaller. Is it going to settle down in the space? Lin Luoran is really happy. She will have a place to make elixirs and weapons in the future. Lin Luoran is still happy, but the next second, the space shakes and there is even thunder. Is the space going to collapse? Lin Luoran is thrown out of the space the next second. She touches her waist, which hurts from the fall. It seems that she is still at the bottom of the cave. She looks up and sees the cyan little fox's face above the cave. The fox's fluffy tail hangs down and its face is full of confusion. It seems to be surprised that the place is not hot anymore. Lin Luoran is even more confused than the fox. What happened? The space seems to be collapsing. But now it seems that the bead is safe and sound. She goes in and has a look. Wow, it is still there. Chapter 190. Lin Luoran can't enter the space, so she can't do anything to help. She casts a wind-riding spell and flies to the top of the cave. The cyan little fox rushes up to her. Its eyes are full of confusion. It used to be so hot here. How could the strange fire suddenly disappear? Lin Luoran walks back with the fox in her arms. It is quiet in the fox cave. The white fox is resting on the round stone. When Guanjing is still lying on the ground. His body is burning hot. In fact, when Guanjing is facing a hurdle now. If he can refine the strange fire, his strength will be greatly improved. Even if he can improve his strength for the time being, the strange fire will be very beneficial to his future development. However, when Guanjing's mind is not clear now. The level of training qi is different from the level of laying foundation. The ocean of Reiki has been opened and the nebula formed by Reiki will run on its own and refine the absorbed Reiki into Reiki. Lin Luoran has 3 nebulas in her body. Is it common for others, or is it special for Lin Luoren? Every time the three nebulas run together, she feels that she can refine Reiki very quickly. Lin Luoren is not sure because no other cultivators in the level of laying foundation can study it. Lin Luoren shakes her head and focuses on Wen Guanjing again. There is only one way left, which is to help Wen Guanjing finish the process under the guidance of her Reiki. Lin Luoren knows that saving Wen Guanjing's life is very important. What makes her hesitate is not that she has to be naked like in TV shows. She feels that it is more serious than that. Her Reiki is guiding the restless fire Reiki inside Wen Guanjing's body. The fire Reiki will inevitably pass through Wen Guanjing's meridians. There are many meridians in a person's body. Every school and family has its own unique features, which is inseparable from the scriptures stored in the family. Wen Guanjing is so talented that the scriptures the Wen family let him cultivate are definitely not common. Not common? Alas, Lin Luoren doesn't know whether Wen Guanjing will be grateful to her or ask her about the scriptures after she saves him. In her mind, Wen Guanjing is quite old-fashioned. Let's save him first. This problem is giving me a headache. Like before, Lin Luoren uses her fire wacken to explore Wen's body. As soon as the fire wacken enters Wen's body, the fire Reiki molecules which have been contaminated by the strange fire rush up. Lin Luoren thinks that they are here to fight, but then she realizes that these Reiki molecules are just curious about her wacken, but they don't fight. Is it because she has been contaminated by the strange fire that these Reiki molecules think that she is one of them? Very likely. Lin Luoren is overjoyed and feels much more relaxed. She carefully bypasses the molecules of the strange fire and finds the fire Reiki in Wen Guanjing's meridians. These little things have been refined and nurtured by Wen Guanjing, so they are much more docile. No wonder they just hide when the strange fire is rebelling in their master's body. Lin tries to direct her wacken but pokes them, bang. Lin Luoren pops a beautiful colorful bubble. The strange fire Reiki is only agitated, but Lin Luoren's wacken is of a higher level. These quiet fire Reiki molecules are completely awakened. They seem to compare their powers with Lin Luoren's. In Lin Luoren's surprise, these Reiki molecules run away like rats. They all run away along the meridians. This is so unlike Wen Guanjing. Lin Luoren is embarrassed. However, the Reiki molecules of the strange fire obviously think that this is a fun game. They all rush to join the escaping team. Seeing that the Reiki molecules are running like bandits, Lin Luoren smiles. It seems that she has found a way to integrate these Reiki. It turns out that she doesn't need to guide them at all. The simplest thing she can do now is to play the role of an invader and chase after the fire Reiki. The fire Reiki of the strange fire is mixed in the meridians. As they run, the Reiki will be absorbed and assimilated. This is much easier than Lin Luoren directing Reiki into her body. Sure enough, the wacken of a higher level is easy to use. At the same time, Lin Luoren feels lucky that she has passed the level of training Qi under the watch of cultivators in the level of laying foundation. Otherwise, she can't overcome the gap between the two powers even if she has many treasures. What is happening inside Wen Guanjing's body is very interesting. In fact, Cyan Little Fox thinks that Lin Luoren is holding Wen's hand and in a daze. It is a little anxious, but the white fox comforts it. The Cyan Little Fox puts its head on the white fox's leg and stares at the two humans. It is also thinking about something. It is a little scary that a fox can have something on its mind. However, Cyan Little Fox knows a lot of things and it can think. Of course, there are some things it doesn't understand. For example, why did Whitey save the man and steal the medicine for him at the risk of his life? Fortunately, it found this human woman who looked nice and helped it save Abai. As for Whitey, Whitey is not its mother. However, Whitey has been with it for as long as it can remember. The Cyan Fox thinks that Whitey is like a mother. However, every time it calls Whitey mother, Whitey panics. Whitey says that Whitey doesn't deserve to be its mother. The Cyan Little Fox stares at Lin Luoren and Wen Guanjing on the ground. Whitey says that it needs to choose one person and go back to the ground with them. The Cyan Little Fox thinks of the yellow sand it once saw secretly and it is reluctant to go back to the ground. The ground doesn't seem to be as fun as the underground. However, if it really has to choose one person, the human woman is more pleasing to the eye. The man is so dull that he won't touch him even if he brings him back. As for the woman, there is a light fragrance of medicine on her. Whitey starts to teach it again. Yes, it can't let the human race know that it is smart. Also, it can't be too stupid. It is said that the human race is very realistic and they don't like stupid pets. Well, they are not pets at all. Oh, and it can't tell them where they come from. The cyan little fox really wants to roll its eyes. It doesn't know where they come from either. How can it tell them? Besides, it can't speak the human language. It forgets to think why it can understand them. This is the first time it has seen a human. Today is really a day full of ups and downs. The cyan little fox yawns and falls asleep beside the white fox's leg. It thinks that Whitey is so long-winded. Anyway, they will stay together forever. It can just remind it later. Seeing that the cyan little fox is sleeping soundly, the white fox touches its twitching ears and looks up at Lin Luoran with a serious expression. Is this human female cultivator really suitable with such a low level of cultivation? Unfortunately, it doesn't have much time. It can't wait any longer. Sigh, so be it. At the very least, she has a good heart. There weren't many cultivators like her who could treat the alien race like this, even in the past. Thinking of this, the white fox becomes gentle again. Lin Luoran opens her eyes. She feels a little tired. The Reiki in Wenguanjing's body finally starts to circulate on its own. She doesn't need to do anything anymore. She just needs to wait for Wenguanjing to refine the strange fire Reiki and then he will wake up. She felt a gaze peeping at her. When she opened her eyes, she saw two foxes snuggling up to her and sleeping soundly. Was it her illusion? It will take some time for Wenguanjing to wake up. She can't rush it. Lin Luoran remembers that the space threw her out of the space, so she tries to enter the space again. She disappears on the spot. She has entered the space, but is it still her space? Standing under the apple tree in the space, Lin Luoran is in a daze. The drizzle falls on her face. Lin Luoran can't help but lick her face. It is sweet, like spring water, but the Reiki is much thinner. Well, this is not a problem. The problem is that it has never rained since she got the space. A gentle wind blew on her face. If it weren't for the traces of the deviant flame in her space, she would have suspected that someone had replaced her space. There are 2 peach trees, an apple tree, wild grapevines, and a newly planted tea tree. Spirit wine and harvested vegetables are neatly placed under the apple tree. They are not wet by the rain. The scorpion shell is washed black and shiny. It lies quietly on the ground. Wasn't it under the tree before? How come it changed its position? Has the space become bigger? Lin Luoran continues to check. Nothing unusual happens in the space. Except for some spirit herbs and some vegetables that were accidentally trampled on, nothing in the space had changed. Lin Luoran looks to the side. There is a ball of fire opposite to the pool. Surrounded by diamonds of fire, the strange fire is crystal clear and it seems to be bigger than when she first saw it. It burns and hardens the soil around it. It is lying in the pit, which is less than 3 feet deep. Lin Luoran feels that she is looking at a small volcano. The strange fire has settled down in the space? Then, Lin Luoran feels that she seems to understand the change of space. As a liberal arts student, Lin Luoran still remembers some common sense of nature even though she has left her books for many years. For example, the cause of the wind. There may be no force of Earth rotation or friction in the space, but there is definitely a pressure difference in the space now. Air flows from a place with high pressure to a place with low pressure, so it forms wind. The main cause of the pressure difference is the uneven heating. Before, there was only a pool in the space. Now there is a small volcano which seems small but contains a huge amount of fire Reiki. Finally, there is a temperature difference. Cold air meets hot air, drizzle falls and wind blows. Lin Luoran can't help but smile. It turns out that the space she owns has such great potential for growth. Will it become a small but complete real world in the future? As she grows up, the space will also grow up, right? Lin Luoran is looking forward to it. Everyone is responsible for the promotion of love group. Book Group 1712492203. Chapter 191. When Lin Luoran shows up again, the cyan little fox is circling around the place where she disappeared. Seeing Lin Luoran, it doesn't understand why Lin Luoran always disappears. Lin Luoran is in a good mood. The two foxes tried to save Wen Guanjing and she has a good impression of them. Lin Luoran hands a peach to the cyan little fox. Wen Guanjing's condition has stabilized. Lin Luoran doesn't know when he will wake up. She can only hope that he will wake up soon. Meanwhile, she meditates in the cave. She doesn't feel bored. In fact, the fox cave has the fragrance of medicine and flowers, so it's not bad to stay here. What's worse is that there is no day or night in the underground world. There is always a dim light. Lin Luoran feels depressed here. Lin Luoran can only focus on her cultivation. On one hand, she hopes that time will fly and Wen Guanjing will wake up soon. On the other hand, she wants time to slow down so that she can find Baojia. The white fox is getting weaker. The cyan little fox is careless. After eating the peach, it jumps around in the cave. The huge fluorescent flower stands there quietly. Lin Luoran slowly calms down. The effect of the blood pool is powerful. It helps her break through the early stage of laying foundation. However, she hasn't reached the middle stage of laying foundation yet. Lin Luoran can't take it lightly. The thing about the woman in black hasn't been solved yet. She can't stay in Africa for too long. She will go back after finding Baojia. Lin Luoran makes up her mind. The mystery of the disappearance of a cultivator in the level of gathering vitality is not something she needs to know at this stage. After so many years, many people must have tried to find some clues. Since there is no conclusion, they can't solve the mystery by just coming to the desert. Lin Luoran observes the nebula of Reiki inside her body. The color of the fire Reiki seems to be darker. Is it because of the strange fire? Lin Luoran is free now. She can't help thinking about Wen Guanjing's meridians. She feels it carefully and feels that it is not much better than the breathing method she is practicing now. Strange, could it be that what Master Jia taught her was something good? She hasn't seen Master Jia for more than 3 years. She doesn't know how he is doing. Lin Luoran must ask Sister Wang about Master Jia when she goes out. The two foxes and Lin Luoran stay with each other quietly. At first, Lin Luoran is distracted, but later, she is completely immersed in cultivation. When she wakes up again, Wen Guanjing is looking at her with a smile. Seeing that Lin opens her eyes, Wen Guanjing says, "Thank you, senior sister." Lin Luoran feels his breath carefully. As expected, he has made great progress. After the fire test, Wen Guanjing successfully reaches the completion of training qi after absorbing the fire Reiki from the strange fire. Although it seemed that his realm was still unstable, as long as he went back and went into seclusion, he would be able to cross over safely. It was not too serious. Congratulations, congratulations. However, you still have to thank these two foxes for helping you. After all, Wen Guanjing is half a lifesaver. Though he is prejudiced against aliens, he has to express his gratitude. Lin Luoran jumps up and pats the dust off her clothes. She says, "Let's go. We have wasted too much time." When Guanjing hesitates, Lin Luoran can pay him back slowly, but what about the two foxes? He did not want to owe these two beasts a life-saving debt. Lin Luoran sighs and walks to the white fox. "What can we do for you? We can try our best." Even if Wen Guanjing can't do it, Lin Luoran can only transfer the favor to Lin Luoran. The white fox pushes the cyan little fox to the front of Lin Luoran. Is it going to entrust its orphan to me? For some reason, Lin Luoran had this idea when she found out that the white fox was dying and saved Wen Guanjing's life. However, if Wen Guanjing wants to accept the cyan little fox, it will be too difficult for a man to hold a fox all the time. Ahem. There are so many legends about the fox fairy. Maybe Wen Guanjing is looking forward to it. Lin Luoran doesn't have to make the decision for Wen Guanjing. Lin Luoran asks him to negotiate with the white fox. Well, as expected, Wen Guanjing doesn't want to accept the cyan little fox. However, the white fox seems to want to entrust the cyan little fox to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran has never thought that one day she will raise a fox that seems to know how to find medicine. Little thing, are you willing to go with me? Lin Luoran squats down. She has a good impression of the cyan little fox. The cyan little fox is so cute. In fact, Lin Luoran almost vomits blood. It is not a little thing. It is older than you. No one knows what the cyan little fox is thinking. It probably wants to play on the ground and come back soon, so it doesn't object. However, it doesn't know that the white fox is dying and it wants to entrust its orphan to Lin Luoran. The cyan little fox nods, and the white fox smiles. Lin Luoran picks up the cyan little fox, puts it on her shoulder and leaves the cave with Wen Guanjing. Lin Luoran looks back at the white fox. It is still standing, but its life has already died. It is cute. I will take good care of it. Lin Luoran whispers to the white fox. The white fox moves its mouth. Lin Luoran thinks that it is saying, thank you, but she also feels weird. Only the old monkey, which is a primate, can speak human language. Goldie and the other primates must be very powerful. The white fox can't even defeat the gopher. Lin Luoran thinks that it must be her illusion. The cyan little fox looks back at the white fox from its shoulder with affection in its eyes. I'm going to cultivate. Don't come back for a while. How long will it take? When you can go back to the ground by yourself. Oh, the cyan fox wants to go back to the ground by itself. Isn't it easy? It seems that the white fox won't be cultivating for a long time. If Lin Luoran could understand the language of the fox family, she would feel a little sad after hearing this. How could the white fox be in seclusion? Its life force was already fading away, and its lifespan was reaching its end. Lin Luoran holds the cyan little fox and leaves with Wen Guanjing. The gate of prohibition in front of the fox cave, which Lin Luoran didn't think was useful, becomes the same color and material as the surrounding tunnel after a flash. There is no difference anymore. Lin Luoran doesn't know all this. Or maybe it is because of what happened to them soon after they left the fox cave that Lin Luoran has no time to care about the white fox. Soon after they leave the fox cave, Lin Luoran sees a group of gopher running quickly from a side road. The army of gopher is shaking the earth. The cyan little fox twitches its pink nose. It seems to be uneasy. However, Lin Luoran is attracted by a piece of cloth being dragged by a gopher. She quickly grabs the gopher and lifts it up. It is a chiffon shirt. It belongs to Baojia. Baojia is nearby. Lin Luoran holds the cloth and her hands are shaking. Wen Guanjing is calmer. Sister, the animals are running away in panic. This seems abnormal. Should we pay more attention? Chapter 192. Gophers are not the only ones running away in panic. There are also ants the size of eggs and insects like longhorn beetles. These enlarged versions of insects, rats, and ants are all running away. Just as Wen Guanjing said, they are running away. Lin Luoran wants to find Baojia. Unfortunately, the fox can communicate with each other. Maybe the situation is too complicated for Lin Luoran to understand the cyan little fox's gestures. What's more, the cyan little fox bites Lin Luoran's trouser leg when it sees the ants running away. It signals Lin Luoran to follow the direction of the ants. It's better to say that they are running away. There was definitely something wrong with the situation. Along the way, she had seen many scenes of rats and ants killing each other. It wasn't a group of rats trampling over the ants, quickly reaping their lives and taking away the corpses of the ants that were the size of eggs to feast on. There was also a group of ants surrounding a single rat. A rat the size of a cat couldn't resist the encirclement of the ants, and in the end, only a bloody skeleton was left. Now, these two kinds of enemies are running in the same direction. They are running in the same tunnel. They are not fighting or gnawing. They are just running away. Pulled by the cyan little fox, Lin Luoran finally decides to run in the direction of the gophers. Baojia is an adult, not an idiot. If she is in the underground, she will definitely do something when she sees the abnormal behavior of the animals. It is very likely that she will find Baojia at the place where the animals gather. Without hesitation, Lin Luoran picks up the cyan little fox and joins the migration of the gophers and insects with Wen Guanjing. As expected, the gophers and insects don't attack Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing, who seem to be easy targets. In the dim light of the tunnel, Lin Luoran, Wen Guanjing, and the fox are also running. The gophers and insects can always find their way in the crisscrossing tunnels. They barely eat when they are running fast. Along the way, many animals run out of other tunnels and join the escape team. The gophers and insects that fall behind will scream or twist anxiously, as if they will be in danger if they fall behind. Lin Luoran has no choice but to run in the middle of the team. In fact, when it comes to running, they are not as strong as these underground creatures. Wen Guanjing hasn't laid foundation, so he can't use the wind riding spell. The tunnel is narrow and he can't ride on his sword. Lin is thinking if she should take Wen Guanjing with her. Suddenly, Wen takes out a piece of yellow paper, murmurs something and sticks it to his feet. With a flash of yellow light, Wen Guanjing's speed increases several times. Seeing that Lin is looking at him curiously, Wen Guanjing explains, "This is the teleport figure. The Wen family made it for the Qingqing Taoist temple." Lin Luoran suddenly understands. It turned out that talismans were the specialty of Qingqing Taoist temple. It was just like how Shu Mountain produced sword cultivators. These sects and clans that had their own focus seemed to be able to survive longer. Could it be that the Lin family was going to specialize in alchemy in the future? Lin Luoran gets rid of this thought and starts to hurry on. The cyan little fox holds Lin's neck tightly. It is wondering if the white fox has started its closed-door training. It should be okay for it to escape this time, right? Lin Luoran keeps changing tunnels. She can feel that they are going to a higher place. She doesn't know how deep they are. They have been climbing for a long time, but the tunnels are still the same. If they are buried deep underground, how do they solve the problem of breathing? Lin Luoran feels that there should be some exits that connect to the surface of the earth. The Scorpion King probably came from the underground world. However, Lin Luoran hasn't seen such a large animal yet. She only sees some gophers and ants that are abnormally large, so she can't make a judgment. Along the way, Lin Luoran takes a break. She doesn't fall behind. From time to time, she digs out some glowing materials from the tunnel and throws them into the space. This underground world is obviously another world that hasn't been discovered by human beings. It is hidden under the Kalahari Desert. Lin Luoran doesn't want to be disturbed by others after she gets out. However, she can do some research on her own. Spiritual foxes that can find herbs, gophers the size of cats, and ants the size of eggs. The food chain is obviously missing. Lin Luoran also finds a kind of mushroom on the wet tunnel wall. It is black and stinks. All insects and animals passing by it take a detour as if they have seen a ghost. Lin Luoran takes a jade box and puts some mushrooms into it. The cyan little fox wrinkles its nose. It can't stand the smell of the mushrooms on her hands. Wen Guanjing knows that the fox comes from the alchemy school and seems to be naturally curious about all kinds of plants and minerals. The tunnel is getting wider and wider. Gradually, they come to an open place. Not to mention Lin Luoran, who is full of curiosity, even when Guanjing is dazzled. They see a lot of things that look like pasture. Yes, pasture. Although the grass is black, which is different from the color on the surface of the earth, it does smell like grass. A gray-furred animal the size of a hunting dog ate 2 mouthfuls of grass unwillingly before reluctantly joining the fleeing group. Their long ears and big incisors betray the fact that they are rabbits. When Guanjing points at the rabbits and says with a smile, "We can hunt too to replenish our food." These rabbits are bulky and can't run fast. Lin Luoran is not interested in eating rabbit meat at this time. However, the fur is really beautiful. It looks much glossier than any mink fur. It can be a gift for Lin Luoran. Among the people Lin Luoran knows, only Mrs. Lin and Wang Miao Yi are old enough to wear fur. Baojia is not willing to wear gray rabbit fur. There are some white rabbits among the group of gray rabbits. They are also the size of hounds. Lin Luoran is hesitating whether to eat them. The cyan little fox pulls her hair. It turns out that the cyan little fox is very surprised when it hears that they are going to hunt rabbits. Rabbit meat is delicious, but it can't eat it. Later, the white foxes are always sick, so they don't eat it often. Now that it hears that they are going to hunt rabbits, it doesn't even care about running away. Its saliva drips on Lin Luoran's shoulder. Do you want to eat it? The cyan little fox nods hard. Lin Luoran suddenly realizes that she is stupid. No fox in the world is vegetarian. Now they have to catch rabbits, or they will be suspected of abusing pets. When Guanjing reaches out his hand and grabs a gray rabbit by its neck. Unexpectedly, the previously docile rabbit turns around and bites him. If when Guanjing didn't react fast enough, his hand would have been bitten off. The escaping rabbit is not afraid of people. It jumps at when Guanjing and attacks him. It is not clumsy at all. When Guanjing is about to throw a fireball at it, Lin Luoran, who is worried about the rabbit fur, hurries to remind him, "Don't hurt the fur." When Guanjing reaches out a finger and touches the head of the gray rabbit, he knocks it out with fire reiki. With the teleport figure on his feet, he moves fast and catches several rabbits. When Guanjing's universal sack is full, so he has to kill them one by one and give them to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran is thinking about whether to hunt the white rabbits. When she takes the game from Wen Guanjing, the whole tunnel shakes without any warning. The cyan little fox's expression changes dramatically. Lin Luoran looks around. Only a few slow rabbits are still in the tunnel. The rest of the insects and mice are gone. Damn it! They are bold and skillful. They catch 2 rabbits on the way and waste their time. Chapter 193. In the glowing tunnel, the cyan little fox is moving at an amazing speed. It is running so fast that its feet don't even touch the ground. Wen and Lin Luoran follow the cyan little fox closely. Along the way, they had already overtaken many animals with their speed. Not only were there rabbits that had grown bigger, but they also discovered deer that were smaller than rabbits. They were unbelievably thin, but their running speed was also unbelievably fast. The cyan little fox never stops. Lin and Wen don't dare to stop either. They already had a feeling of what was about to happen. The temperature in the tunnel is rising. Lin feels like she is in a sauna. Her cheeks are red and her body is covered with sticky sweat. Lava. Lin doesn't know how often the lava erupts in the underground world. Maybe this is the origin of these crisscrossing tunnels. Lin blames herself for ignoring this problem. Why can a cave breathe the strange fire? Without the support of the magnificent fire reiki, the strange fire can't be bred. She should have thought of this. She is too careless. Lin Luoran glances at Wen Guanjing out of the corner of her eyes. He is sweating because of the high temperature and he is biting his lips tightly. Most importantly, the teleport figure on his feet is dim. It seems that it won't last long. The tunnel is getting wider and hotter. The top of the tunnel is about 3 meters above the ground. Lin is calculating whether she can call out the bright sword so that everyone can save their energy. Suddenly, they hear the screams of animals behind them. It turned out that the fiery hot lava had already caught up to them. A rabbit that was running slower was suddenly submerged. It only had time to let out a miserable cry, and it was never seen raising its head again in the lava. In the boiling lava, the animals that fall into it scream in pain. Occasionally, their bodies are exposed by the flowing lava, but their fur is gone. They look like ghosts that are skinned alive in horror movies. Lin Luoran can't help but shiver. "Let's go!" Lin shouts. The bright sword soars and picks up the cyan little fox. Wen jumps on the sword as well. The lava looks sticky and slow, but it is actually very fast. Lin Luoran casts the sword riding spell. The speed of the flying sword is not slow. However, even though the tunnel has become higher, there are still 2 or 3 hanging sharp stalagmites on the top of the tunnel. Lin Luoran has to control the flying sword while avoiding the dangers on the top of her head. Because of this, the speed of the flying sword slows down. The molten lava seems to be spreading behind their feet. Because the top of the cave is wide and the lava is advancing layer by layer, Lin Luoran still has some space to avoid the lava and keep a distance from it. However, the situation is not optimistic. If the tunnel becomes narrower and lower all of a sudden, the magma will squeeze and gush out and drown both of them. To be honest, Lin Luoran doesn't know how long her protective cover can last under the power of nature. Along the way, animals and insects are swallowed by the lava. The cyan little fox is so scared that it holds Lin's neck tightly. It is unrealistic to expect the fox to show them the way. Fortunately, although the animals are confused by the lava, they are still running in the same direction. A gopher sprained its ankle and a rabbit jumped over it. The rabbit managed to escape, but the gopher that used it as a stepping stone died tragically in the lava. In the short span of a few minutes, this kind of thing had happened many times. Everyone wants to escape. However, compared to other animals, Lin sees an elk running with a smaller elk on its back. The hot lava spreads to its feet. The elk runs fast with its slender limbs. Its hind legs are bloody, but it doesn't drop the baby elk. A wave of lava comes and the elk jumps. Because of the weight on its back, it can't jump as high as usual. Its forelegs just make a beautiful arc, and then its whole body, including the baby elk on its back, is swallowed by the lava. They're all dead. Lin's eyes turn red. She feels sorry for the elk when she sees it running with the baby elk on its back. However, before she can help them, they are dead. The carefree cyan little fox is sad. It thinks of Whitey. If Whitey were here, he would carry it on his back and run away. When Guanjing is also worried. His flying sword has been repaired, but it can't be used in the tunnel. Besides, the flying sword is not good at flying fast. He can only stand behind the bright sword and watch the lava closely. From time to time, he reminds Lin to speed up or controls the flying sword to fly up. He is making a gesture. It is the fireproof shield of the Wen family. It is a secret spell of the Wen family that can be used by all 5 elements. The shield can protect Wen Guanjing from the lava, but it can also drain all the Reiki in Wen Guanjing's body. Wen's level is not stable. Without the suppression, he will fall to the late stage of training Qi, and he doesn't know when he can advance again. Therefore, Wen Guanjing is just ready. He won't use the fireproof shield until the last moment. The hot lava splashes. Standing behind the flying sword, Wen Guanjing's clothes are burned and his face is burned. The situation is not optimistic. As the tunnel becomes narrower, the lava is getting closer and closer to them. Sister Lin. Seeing that the lava is about to burst out, Wen Guanjing can't help but shout. Lin Luoran purses her lips. She knows that the lava is getting closer. However, as the tunnel becomes smaller, Lin Luoran decides to take a gamble. Squat down. Lin Luoran holds the cyan little fox tightly. She is almost hanging on the flying sword. The bright sword is only so far away from the sword. It's okay for them to stand still. However, if they squat down, they will inevitably bump into each other. Lin Luoran doesn't have time to care about this kind of thing. Wen Guanjing's fireproof shield is opened immediately. A stream of hot lava hits the shield, making a sizzling sound. Wen Guanjing's fireproof shield and Lin Luoran's Reiki shield are lit up. Even with these 2 layers of protection, their flying swords are almost knocked down by the lava. A little lower, Lin Luoran lowers her body. She feels that the sharp stalagmites are rubbing against her scalp. The light of the flying sword and the shield is faintly visible in the red lava. The terrain of the tunnel seems to change, right here. Lin Luoran's hands shine with golden light. The stalagmites explode and the debris falls into the lava, making a big splash. In the flying debris, Wen Guanjing's fireproof shield disintegrates. Lin Luoran's shield only has a thin layer left. At this moment, they finally get out of the tunnel and feel the feeling of surviving a disaster. It was truly a new lease of life. It was unknown whether it was due to the terrain or the restrictions of some kind of power, but when the lava reached here, its momentum slowed down. It slowly rose up, but it was no longer as ferocious. In front of Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing, there is an extremely wide arch with many tunnels connected to it. There are tens of thousands of animals on the arch. They must have run here from various tunnels, and before the lava engulfed them, they came to this place that was like a refuge. Some animals are also wounded. Lin Luoran bends over and coughs. At the last moment, both her and Wen Guanjing's shields are broken. Both of them eat a mouthful of ash. The smell of sulfur in the lava is not pleasant. When Guanjing is also covered with ash. The cyan little fox shakes off the ash and sneezes several times. The arched platform is quite large. Lin Luoran directs the flying sword to land. Seeing the two strange creatures, the animals automatically make way for them. Although the lava is still spreading and many of the animals are still scared, they feel safe here because this is a shelter that has existed for many years. Lin Luoran cleans up the dust on her face and asks the cyan little fox, "Does lava erupt often underground?" The cyan little fox nods and then shakes its head. After talking with the cyan little fox for a long time, Lin Luoran finally understands that there will be traces of lava erupting in the underground every year. The animals in this area always start to gather here before the lava erupts. Lin Luoran and the cyan little fox have seen a lot of things, so they only meet rabbits that need to eat some grass before they are willing to go on their way. However, this time the lava doesn't erupt on time. Many animals are caught off guard and the lava is fiercer than before. That's why there are more casualties than before. Somehow, after asking the cyan little fox, Lin Luoran feels a little guilty. If there is anything unusual this time, it is that they come to the underground. Maybe it has something to do with her taking the strange fire? Lin Luoran tries to convince herself that it is impossible. After all, it is just a small ball of fire. Sister, don't worry too much. The underground is so big. There are obviously not enough animals here. Obviously, there are other shelters. When Guanjing doesn't care about the drop in his level. However, he is glad that he can escape from death. He knows the relationship between Lin Luoran and Baojia. Seeing that Baojia is not among these animals, he thinks that Lin Luoran's absent-mindedness is because she is worried. Lin Luoran comes to herself. The largest animal here is a kind that looks like a seal, but it is more than 2 times bigger than a seal. There are thousands of them, occupying the highest and most central safe area of the platform. They are all lying on the ground to rest. They must have paid a huge price to come here with such a heavy body. In this way they can see clearly. Baojia is a living person, so it is impossible for her to hide among a group of animals like rats and rabbits. Baojia is not here. However, this is not what Lin Luoran is worried about at this time. The lava is rolling a few meters away from them. Even if it stops rising, as long as it doesn't recede as usual, the real disaster will just begin. Because it comes so suddenly, animals are not as prepared as before. Carnivores must fight on this high platform. Will herbivores be forced to eat meat? Chapter 194. Lin Luoran feels that she is a jinx. After a day, the lava is still rolling. Instead of receding, it rises a few meters higher. This abnormal phenomenon makes the animals panic. They have to move closer to the top of the open space to find a safer position so that they won't be harmed by the lava when it rises again. There are dozens of kinds of animals in different sizes and positions in the food chain. At first, everyone was living in peace because of the disaster. However, as the distance between them shrinks and they get closer to each other, the first commotion that Lin Luoran guesses breaks out. The cause of the commotion is an ant. It accidentally steps into the territory of a gopher and is swallowed by a gopher. The ant is still smacking its lips. The ants here are all angry and send out a large army. As the saying goes, many ants can kill an elephant. Except for the gopher, which has the same fecundity as the gopher, few animals are stupid enough to attack the gopher when the army of ants is gathering. Therefore, the animals choose to stand aside and watch the war between the gopher and the ants. The two armies fight very fast. Soon, there are dead bodies on the ground where the gopher and the ants fought. Lin Luoran doesn't feel disgusted by the natural selection of the gopher and the ants. What disgusts her is that the dead bodies of the gopher and the ants are fighting for them. Fighting for each other's dead bodies is just a trophy of war. However, the gopher and the ants are fighting for the dead bodies of the gopher and the ants. At first, Lin Luoran thinks that the gopher and the gopher are collecting the dead bodies of their own kind. When Guanjing also feels that although the gopher and the ants are different, they are still loyal. However, soon, the reality slaps them in the face. The gopher drags the dead gopher back. and the ants carry the dead ants back. Lin Luoran sees that a group of gopher rushes to enjoy the dead gopher's body. The ants first offer the body to the giant queen, ensuring that the queen has enough food. Then they eat themselves. Lin Luoran feels that her heart is in turmoil. She has to control herself to stop herself from throwing up. It was like cannibalism. During mating, the male praying mantis would bite off its head when it was in a trance state, and then slowly eat the entire body of the male praying mantis. The male praying mantis would become the nutrition for the unborn child. If this could be covered up with the excuse of reproduction, but at this time, the animals had only been trapped for a day. They were not at the end of their rope yet. Why did they have to do this? That's right, ants are numerous, small, and easy to carry, so the ants chose to bring back the corpses of their own kind? And dead gophers had more meat, which was more in line with the gopher's appetite. If that was the case, why was there a need to start this slaughter? This was clearly more like the two clans had a premeditated plan to eliminate the old, weak, sick, and disabled in order to prepare for an even crueler battle royale. However, Lin Luoran really can't accept the fact that it is eliminated and then used as food. Lin Luoran didn't worry about the shortage of food. What she didn't want to see was endless harassment. When the animals became crazier and crazier, they would always stare at them. This place is like a small plain, crowded with countless animals. Although they haven't seen any giant animals like the Scorpion King, if the animals in front of them chose to attack them, Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing could kill them until their hands became weak. The first day passed in silence. Under the high temperature, people were sleepy, and animals were no exception. Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing sat in a corner. Lin Luoran released her spiritual mind, which was so suppressed that it could be regarded as a tragedy. She told the cyan little fox not to leave her side again and then began to cultivate. Wen Guanjing's level had dropped, so he didn't regret it. However, the plain surrounded by molten lava was full of fire Reiki. He had to recover his Reiki as soon as possible. Wen Guanjing and Wen Guanjing both felt uneasy. They were involved in this situation because of the murals, but they knew nothing about the murals. The inhibition in the broken wall in the desert was obviously not the work of nature. It was the work of cultivators. The sudden sinking of the sand was the inevitable result of the inhibition. Someone or something wanted them to come down to this underground world. Wen Guanjing thought more about these questions than Lin Luoran. Growing up in a family of cultivators, Wen Guanjing had some advantages that Lin Luoran couldn't have, such as information and documents. Wen Guanjing was 100% sure that the cultivation world didn't know about this underground world. There were unusual animals in the underground world, crisscrossing tunnels, glowing plants, strange fire, and all kinds of spirit herbs. If this place had been discovered earlier, it would have been the best place for training. The cultivation world wouldn't give up on this fat piece of meat. Therefore, there might be clues about the disappearance of cultivators in the level of gathering vitality here. However, they didn't know where to start. When Lin Luoran opened her eyes again, the arched plain was still hot. The red light shone on the rock walls, indicating that the molten lava was still there. The cyan little fox was not in her arms. Lin Luoran was so surprised that she almost jumped up. She calmed herself down and found that the cyan little fox was 3 feet away from her, digging the ground with its claws. Lin Luoran was relieved, but then she frowned again. She was cultivating last night. How did she fall asleep? Wen Guanjing lowered his head. Lin Luoran suppressed her uneasiness and shook him to wake him up. Both of them fell asleep. This was not normal. In such an environment, both of them had been cultivating all night and were very vigilant. How could they fall asleep at the same time? Lin Luoran looked up and found that many animals were sleeping. For example, the giant seal that occupied the centermost position was sleeping soundly. Small animals like gophers and ants were also resting here and there. The only exceptions were the cyan little fox, the rabbits in the size of hounds, and the elks with long legs. These gentle animals were not affected at all, or they woke up earlier than Lin Luoran. Anyway, when Lin Luoran opened her eyes, she found that they were digging the ground like the cyan little fox. If these gentle herbivores were not asleep, then the first one to wake up should be Lin Luoran, who had the highest level of cultivation. Lin Luoran shivered. If she didn't wake up, or if she didn't have the luck to wake up first next time, would she be taken away by some kind of creature in her sleep? Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing talked about it, and both of them believed that there was a mysterious being much more powerful than them in the underground. Maybe it was the curse of the devil that Yaki mentioned, or maybe it was just an extremely powerful alien. Is it a monster cultivator, a devil, or a cultivator? Lin Luoran was worried. She was not afraid of powerful enemies. She was afraid of powerful enemies that never showed up. Such beings were not only powerful but also meticulous, which was the most difficult for them to escape. Squeak! The cyan little fox finally stopped digging and threw something in front of Lin Luoran. It was a plant tuber buried deep in the soil. There was a sprout on the yellow wet soil. Obviously, it was the root of some kind of plant. The root was nurturing energy and it was waiting for the season to come. For me! The cyan little fox kept asking Lin Luoran to pick it up. Lin Luoran finally realized that the little fox was too smart. From what it saw, they had caught some rabbits on the way and they had enough food for the time being. However, the little fox insisted on digging the tuber. Was it preparing for a rainy day? Lin Luoran realized that the herbivores like the rabbits and the elks were also digging the roots and tubers of various plants buried deep in the soil. Of course, there was some hay that had not rotted yet, which could also be used to fill their stomachs. Lin Luoran was still amazed by the adaptability of animals. Seeing Wen Guanjing's worried face, she cheered up and said, "Shall we roast a rabbit?" Lin Luoran handed a rabbit to Wen Guanjing. Wen Guanjing soon made a shiny roast rabbit with a spell. The rabbit was so big that they could not finish it in one meal. Lin Luoran didn't care, but the cyan little fox ate so much that its belly was round. Of course, the little pile of tubers it found was still guarded. Except for Lin Luoran, no one was allowed to get close to the food it had stored. The aroma of the roast rabbit woke up the sleeping animals. Although the aroma of the roast rabbit was tempting, animals were naturally alert. They knew that Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing were powerful. They would not provoke them until the last moment. However, the carnivores, including the big seal, were aroused and they had not eaten for a day. Finally, they started to eat the tender herbivores like the rabbits and the elks. The rabbits jumped and the elks ran. The ground was covered with blood. The cyan little fox buried its head in Lin Luoran's arms, scared by the screams. Lin Luoran frowned. Wen Guanjing suddenly said, "Sister, in fact, these carnivores are not only for food. Have you noticed that the lava has risen again after one night? The elks, rabbits, and goats are digging the ground. Soon the plain will become shorter. The plain will become shorter. When a wave of lava comes, the lava flows backward. Except for Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing, no one can escape by riding on their swords. In fact, riding on a sword can't last forever. The sky is full of black rocks and some glowing substances. Lin Luoran is not sure how close they are to the ground and whether they can dig a hole to escape before the lava fills up. Lin Luoran doesn't want to escape either. She hasn't found Baojia yet. As soon as this idea comes to her mind, the sky seems to be playing a joke on Lin Luoran. The stones in the sky start to shake. A ray of light shines down. Lin Luoran sets up a shield of light. Many unprotected animals are hit by the falling stones. When the wind calms down, Lin Luoran looks up. In the dim light, she sees a man in flowing clothes riding an animal with 4 flaming hooves descending slowly. The animals on the ground are all shivering. Only Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing are still standing straight. Their eyes are wide open in disbelief. The woman looks around and murmurs something. She never gets off the back of the firehoof beast. Baojia, Lin Luoran can't help but say. It turns out that it is Baojia. Lin Luoran can't help but call out with excitement. The woman looks at Lin Luoran with cold and noble eyes. It seems that she doesn't know Lin Luoran at all. Chapter 195. The woman's eyes are cold as if she has no human feelings. She glances at Lin Luoran with a strange and emotionless look and asks calmly, "Who is Baojia?" Lin Luoran feels like she is hit on the head with a stick. Baojia disappeared outside the Bushman's tribe. Lin Luoran took Wen Guanjing with her and forced Yaqi to lead the way. Barney was unwilling to let her go. The four of them trekked in the desert. They encountered scorpions and were sucked into the underground world by the quicksand. Then they met Wen Guanjing again. Through the vibration of space and the danger of lava. Baojia was her sister. Lin Luoran had to save her willingly without any complaint. However, Baojia is standing in front of her like a stranger. Lin Luoran feels cold all over. Wen Guanjing, who has been silent, tugs at Lin Luoran's sleeve. "Sister?" "She may not be Baojia," he says in a low voice, but he doesn't try to hide it. He can feel that this Baojia is unfathomably powerful. As a bystander, he can think calmly. Qin Baojia is so weak. How can she be as powerful as the ocean? The woman in front of him is not Sister Lin's friend at all. Lin Luoran is reminded by Wen Guanjing. She is calm and meticulous. However, the sudden appearance of Baojia distracts her. She steps back and looks at the woman. She is wearing a pink ancient robe with wide sleeves. Her hair is tied up with a silk ribbon and it reaches her ankles. Except for her face, she looks nothing like Baojia. Baojia doesn't like wearing ancient clothes. She has expressed her confusion about Li Shi's love for Tang clothes. Before coming to Africa, Baojia cut her hair short to cope with the hot weather. She looks bright and pretty. She hasn't seen Baojia for a long time. Even if it has been half a month, her hair can't reach her ankles. Baojia's long and narrow eyes are always full of spirit, which gives her a kind of unruly beauty. If Lin Luoran is a warm jade, Baojia is a sparkling diamond. Lin Luoran's eyes fall on the eyes of Baojia. Her eyes are calm and indifferent, like the floating clouds in the sky. Is this really not Baojia? Unconsciously, Lin Luoran clenches her hands. Lin Luoran takes a few steps back quietly. The woman who rides the beast and looks exactly like Baojia asks, "Who is Baojia?" She doesn't seem to care about Lin Luoran and Lin Luoran at all, so she doesn't ask further. She looks around and is satisfied with the animals trembling. Suddenly, she turns around and says to Lin Luoran and Xiao Xian, "Why don't you kneel down?" "Kneel down? Why should we kneel?" It is Wen Guanjing who asks. After Wen Guanjing asks, Lin finally sees another expression on the face of long-haired Baojia other than indifference. Anger? Yes, faint anger. With her anger, Lin Luoran waves her sleeves and Wen Guanjing steps back uncontrollably. No, it should be said that Wen Guanjing is suddenly hit away like a stone. Of course, Lin Luoran can't let Wen Guanjing fly away. Behind them is the boiling lava. If Wen Guanjing falls down, Lin Luoran can't even collect his body. Therefore, at the same time, Lin Luoran throws out a green vine which is full of wood reiki. The iron thorn seed instantly turns into a vine and twines around Wen Guanjing's waist. "Bind!" Lin Luoran shouts and tries to take back the vines. However, Wen Guanjing is so fast that he almost pulls her into the lava with him. Lin Luoran's feet are already off the ground. She steps on the hot wall around the plane and her shoes are almost burned. Luckily, they are able to stand on the plane again with Lin Luoran's help. Lin Luoran is panting and looks at the long-haired woman vigilantly. She now believes that the woman standing in front of her is not Baojia. She just looks like Baojia. Don't be fooled. She wants to kill Wen Guanjing. How can this woman be Baojia? Lin Luoran doesn't think about the worst possibility. The woman in front of them is Baojia. However, just like the woman in white in the secret land, Baojia has been possessed. The enemy is strong and they are weak. Wen Guanjing don't know what to do except to look at the long-haired woman with vigilance. You are just Qi trainers. You really don't know how high the sky is. The long-haired woman makes a conclusion. She doesn't seem to want to kill them. She doesn't even ask them to kneel down. Because the animal with 4 flaming hooves, a horn on its head, a body like a cow, and a face like a deer, let out a ba-ba sound. The long-haired woman seems to be able to understand it. She is surprised. She stands up and looks at Lin Luoran's feet. Since she showed up on the beast, the cyan little fox, which tries to make people ignore it, has been lying by Lin Luoran's feet. It's you. Why are you hiding? The long-haired woman smiles. The cyan little fox is reluctant. However, when the long-haired woman waves to it, it can't control its body and flies to her. Lin Luoran is afraid that the long-haired woman will hurt the cyan little fox. As soon as she moves her right hand, a ball of light hits Lin Luoran's hand. Lin Luoran feels severe pain in her right hand. The long-haired woman says coldly, "You are just a cheat trainer. If you dare to act rashly again, don't blame me for ignoring the sacrifice and killing you on the spot." Saintess? Sacrifice? Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing are confused. The Saintess ignores them. Holding the frightened cyan little fox in her arms, the Saintess gets back on the animal with 4 burning hooves. In the eyes of Wen Guanjing and Wen Guanjing, the Saintess rises slowly into the sky and disappears into the big hole in the sky. Lin Luoran doesn't raise her hand until it is out of sight. The back of her white hand is burnt black. Her fingers are still trembling because of the pain. The casual attack of the Saintess almost destroys Lin Luoran's right hand. The right hand was a very important existence for cultivators. Except for a few people who were born left-handed, everybody ate, wrote, and did everything that was convenient to them with their right hand. Therefore, when cultivators use spells, they could only use their right hand all the time in order to make all kinds of seals agilely. Only then would they be able to touch the mysterious power of rules in the world and cast dazzling spells. The Saintess is very indifferent, even vicious. She is more like a saintess than a witch. Lin Luoran finally believes that even if she is Baojia, she probably can't remember her at all. Sister Lin, should we follow them? Wen Guanjing hasn't said anything since he was rescued. He is afraid that Lin Luoran will get into trouble again. Seeing that Lin Luoran is in a daze, Wen Guanjing can't help but remind her. The sky is suddenly opened and the light is pouring down, giving people a feeling that the exit of the underground world is up there. Wen Guanjing is tempted. Even if Wen Guanjing doesn't say anything, Lin Luoran will still follow them. What if that is Baojia who has lost her mind? As long as there is a little hope, Lin Luoran will not give up. Besides, there is the cyan little fox. Lin Luoran has promised the white fox that she will take care of it. She can't give up the cyan little fox without fighting for it. When they are about to fly up on their swords, they find that the plane under their feet is shaking. At that moment, Lin Luoran almost thinks that the cave without any support is going to collapse. After a while, she finds that the plane is rising slowly out of the magma. Some animals happen to be standing on the edge of the plane. They fall down in panic and are swallowed by the magma the moment they roll into it. Lin Luoran is caught off guard. She grabs Wen Guanjing's hand to stabilize herself. The plane is rising fast. The sky is moving to both sides and the light is getting brighter and brighter. There are tens of thousands of animals on the plane. You can imagine how big the plane is. However, it is rising fast out of the ground under the influence of a force. Lin Luoran suddenly has a bad feeling about the sacrifice that the Saintess mentioned. The plane is rising higher and higher, and the animals are screaming. Finally, the plane was level with the dome, and with a crack, the plane was firmly embedded in the hole that the dome had cracked open. This is an exquisite mechanism. Lin Luoran can't believe that someone has designed such a tight mechanism with the plane as the bottom. Lin Luoran holds back her shock and looks around. She is sure that she has never seen so many animals in her life. The plane they are standing on is full of all kinds of animals. It seems that they have just been brought here by the rise of the plane. Most of them are panicked and keep stamping the ground with their hooves. Lin Luoran counts. There are 8 such planes in total, surrounding a high platform in the middle in a circle. This was a flight of stairs that emitted a jade-like luster. The holy maiden was wearing a lotus-colored dress and was currently climbing up. The jade stairs seemed to extend all the way to the horizon, with no end in sight. They are out of the underground. Lin Luoran suddenly finds that the plane is surrounded by soft yellow sand. At the end of the jade staircase, there are shining stars all over the sky. The desert wind is hot. However, compared with the boiling magma underground, it is cool and pleasant. Lin Luoran takes a deep breath. This must be the surface of the Kalahari Desert. It is really unexpected that they can get out of the underground so easily after such a struggle. The Saintess walks further and further away on the high platform. Her clothes are flying, and it seems that she is about to disappear into the night sky. When Lin Luoran is thinking about how long she is going to climb, the Saintess finally stops. The four-hoofed fire beast galloped down the jade stairs. The Saintess stroked its head, revealing a nostalgic expression. There is a small ball on the back of the fire beast. Lin Luoran has sharp eyes and finds that it is the cyan little fox. The Saintess holds the fox in her arms again. Unexpectedly, the cyan little fox jumps out of her arms. The Saintess is going to catch it, but then she says angrily, "I wanted to take you with me because of our old friendship. Since you don't appreciate it, you can become a sacrifice together with me." Lin Luoran's heart beats fast. She casts the wind-riding spell and catches the cyan little fox. Its eyes are wet. It seems that it is very afraid of the Saintess. The Saintess snorts and flies up on the fire beast. Lin Luoran thinks of the sacrifice that the Saintess mentioned. She is alert and drags Wen Guanjing to the edge of the plain. A curtain of light rises and cuts off Wen Guanjing's cuffs. 8 huge beams of light cover the plain and the jade stairs are shining brightly. Chapter 196. The light curtain suddenly rises and cuts Wen Guanjing's cuff. They just step on the soft yellow sand. Tens of thousands of animals are surrounded by the light curtain and they don't dare to move. These were 8 gigantic and extraordinarily magnificent restrictive spells. If the Saintess didn't knock Wen Guanjing into the lava and Lin Luoran didn't save him, they might still be among the animals instead of running away from the edge of the plain. They start to feel uneasy. Although the Saintess and the four-hoofed beast are very powerful, they also want to run away. Lin Luoran, Wen Guanjing, and the cyan little fox that the Saintess said was ungrateful haven't even had the time to celebrate their escape when they see the panicked animals running into the inhibition. Instead of bouncing off like the inhibition Lin Luoran has seen before, the animals are killed mercilessly. That's right, he didn't hesitate to kill without mercy. The other mammoth that was pushed by one of the mammoths fell on the light curtain. In the next moment, it was killed into a pile of rotten meat, including the 2 long tusks that ordinary people would definitely covet. They were also crushed in the pile of rotten meat. The more the light screen scared the animals, the more they panicked. Lin Luoran can't see how many animals have died because the 8 huge light curtains are all painted red by flesh and blood. Lin Luoran can't see the inside of the 8 light curtains. At this bloody moment, Lin Luoran suddenly feels ridiculously lucky. The inhibition in her space is so gentle and kind. Lin Luoran's complaint about not being able to enter the cabin also vanishes instantly. The Saintess naturally notices that Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing have escaped. Maybe, as she said, Lin Luoran and Wen Guanjing are just chi trainers in her eyes. Therefore, the Saintess doesn't catch them. Lin Luoran is attentive. She has already noticed that the Saintess calls them chi trainers. Lin Luoran has heard this title once. It is the Venerable who almost killed her and made White Fairy's remnant soul fall into a deep sleep under the lonely mountain in the secret land. White Fairy said that it was a primitive monster. Lin Luoran is familiar with the primitive land. When she was in a coma after saving Baojia, she saw the back of the man in robe. His background is the primitive land with powerful strange beasts. Monsters are not terrible. For example, Goldie, the Scorpion King, and the cyan little fox can all be called monsters to some extent. However, White Fairy, who once had the personal ability of the late gathering vitality period, calls them grand monsters. This is what is really terrible. After the primeval age, no one called Huaxia cultivators chi trainers anymore. They were all called cultivators or cultivators. If this Saintess was a cultivator, she would not call them chi trainers. It could be seen that the Saintess had a very long history. However, she acts as if she knows cyan little fox, which is too contradictory. Do you know her, little fox? Lin Luoran lowers her head and comforts the cyan little fox which has not recovered from its fear. The little fox shakes its head like a rattle. If cyan little fox really doesn't know her, then this saintess must have a long history. It seems that she has something to do with cyan little fox or its ancestors. However, this is not important. It seems that the saintess is going to let go of these two chi trainers. For Lin Luan, the most important thing is that the saintess has the same face as Baojia. She is not Baojia, but this body is probably Baojia's. Thinking of this possibility, Lin Luoran can't leave in peace. The saintess said that this is a sacrifice. Usually, people will sacrifice only when they get some power that doesn't belong to them. If these tens of thousands of animals were the so-called sacrificial offerings, then where did the jade stairs leading to? Lin Luoran looks up at the starry sky and thinks of the mural they are looking for. The rainbow-colored halo, the desert, and the cultivators who disappeared in the halo. If 1,000 years ago, the nascent soul cultivators used this method of sacrificing tens of thousands of animals to disappear from Earth, this possibility wasn't impossible. She heard it clearly. The saintess once said that she would take the cyan little fox with her. After the cyan little fox didn't appreciate it, the saintess became angry out of shame, as if she had given the cyan little fox a great opportunity, but the cyan little fox refused to accept it. It was a slap in the face for the kind saintess who was hard to come by. What would be considered a gargantuan opportunity? Would it be like a secret realm? 4 cultivators, a heavenly paradise devoid of spiritual energy? Or would it simply be leaving Earth? Oh, in novels, they preferred to refer to such situations as realms. However, after 1,000 years, no cultivators in the level of gathering vitality appeared, which means that this is a one-way journey. Lin Luoran clenches her hands. She can't let the saintess control the body that might belong to Baojia and leave. Stop. The saintess walks further and further on the jade stairs. The 8 light curtains are shrinking and killing more and more animals. Lin Luoran can't stand it anymore. In the eyes of the world of cultivation, cultivators in the level of laying foundation may not be able to defeat the saintess. However, Lin Luoran calls out the sword of Bright stubbornly. The phoenix-headed flying sword is shining in Lin Luoran's hand. The sword of Bright is a grade 5 flying sword. It is beautiful and powerful. However, compared with the 8 light curtains, its light is almost insignificant. Under the noble and mysterious jade stairs, Lin Luoran and the sword of Bright in her hand are as insignificant as an overconfident ant under a big tree. The saintess standing on the stairs turns around. Her narrow eyes are very indifferent, but she sneers contemptuously. The local chi trainers nowadays are so ridiculous. For example, the owner of this body, the rookie Baojia, threatened her when the holy relic came. If anyone dares to hurt her friends, she will destroy this body. The saintess feels ridiculous. How can a rookie who just stepped into the level of training chi bargain with her? The saintess doesn't even wait for the saintess to finish her words. She destroys the tiny spiritual mind of this body. The local people never understand the magical use of spirit power. They have the spiritual mind, but they can't use it properly. It is so sad. However, the local people with low personal ability soon bring trouble to the saintess. These 2 chi trainers seem to be the friends she mentioned. When the saintess hit the male chi trainer away, she felt a sense of blockage in her body. At that time, she thought it was because she hasn't adapted to the new body, so she didn't pay much attention to it. As for the female chi trainer, the saintess feels that she is much stronger than this body. She feels sorry that she didn't discover this better body. The saintess expresses her regret that she can't have it, so she will destroy it. The attack on Lin Luoran is not just to destroy her right hand. It was a casual strike, but it was a sure kill strike. However, this time, the saintess feels a strong resistance from her body. The resistance of her body to attack her friends almost makes the saintess feel that she is about to lose control of this body at that moment. Therefore, the attack ends with the saintess' temporary compromise. She only hurts the right hand of the female chi trainer. But now, the chi trainer whom she has forgiven is shouting arrogantly. The saintess narrows her eyes. Does she want to die? Large beads of sweat run down from Lin Luoran's forehead. In the eyes of the saintess, Lin Luoran feels the stinging pain in her spiritual mind and the omnipresent pressure around her. Just one look makes her feel heavy. This saintess seems to be the culprit who suppresses their spiritual minds. Lin Luoran grits her teeth. She certainly knows how powerful the saintess is. She has a feeling that she can't even defeat the weird animal with 4 burning hooves, let alone the saintess. If the animal is a big tree, then she is a tiny machi. Machi will always be laughed at when it tries to shake a big tree. However, Lin Luoran is not afraid of being laughed at. Lin Luoran is not talented, but she is definitely brave. She is usually calm. However, when her reverse scale is touched, she will become hot-blooded. Hot-blooded means that someone is going to bleed, but Lin Luoran is not afraid. Therefore, in the saintess' sarcastic smile, when Guanjing's worry, and Cyan Little Fox's disbelief, Lin Luoran flies up to the sky on her flying sword like a sharp arrow, rushing to the jade platform. She flies over the light curtain at an amazing speed. The light of the bright sword surges. This is the 3rd move of the spell, Auspicious Snow. Auspicious Snow is a very beautiful name. Just like Frost's Fall, the more beautiful a name is, the more unpredictable its power will be. The saintess doesn't care about Lin Luoran's attack at all. Even though Lin Luoran's sword move is amazing, the gap between them is like an adult and a child. No matter how well a child imitates the moves of Ultraman on TV and yells, "Monster, I will destroy you," and then rushes to the adult, no adult will care about such an attack. 4-hoof Fire Beast rushes to stop Lin Luoran. When it is about to kill Lin Luoran with one move, it finds that it has no strength to turn its neck and its whole body is frozen. Most of the body of 4-hoof Fire Beast is frozen by the snow, which slows down its movement. There are only 4 burning hooves on the beast's body. The rest of its body is covered by snow and it can't move. This is the hot Kalahari Desert. How can there be snow? This is Auspicious Snow, the spell with a beautiful name but great power. Seeing that the ice on the 4-hoof Fire Beast's neck is cracking, Lin Luoran slashes down with her sword. The bright sword hits on the horn of the 4-hoof Fire Beast, making a clanging sound. The horn of the 4-hoof Fire Beast is so hard that the bright sword can't hurt it. After being shaken off, the bright sword only scratches the skin on the 4-hoof Fire Beast's neck. The saintess doesn't expect that her beloved beast will suffer. She is furious. Regardless of her body's instinct, she covers Lin Luoran with her spirit power. Before Lin Luoran can feel the joy of winning, she is thrown down by the saintess. Down there, of course, is the light that will kill Lin Luoran. Sister Lin. When Guanjing's eyes turn red, he flies up on his sword. He is anxious, but his flying sword is not good at speed. What should I do? The Cyan Little Fox seems to see Lin Luoran's poor ending. It closes its eyes anxiously. When Lin Luoran is about to hit the light curtain, a rag suddenly flies out from a dark corner and wraps her up. Chapter 197. Lin Luoran feels something around her waist. Her limbs are sore and powerless as if they have been run over by a wheel. She looks down and finds a piece of dirty cloth wrapping around her. Lin Luoran is pulled to the sand and narrowly escapes. She never knows that there is fog in the desert. The cloth retracts. Lin Luoran can't see clearly in the dark. She doesn't know who saved her. When Guanjing moans in the air, he wants to save Lin Luoran, but it is too late. He is attacked by the wounded Fire Beast. He is about to fall into the light curtain like Lin Luoran. The dirty cloth catches when Guanjing and takes him to Lin Luoran. The cloth disappears again. When Guanjing is obviously seriously injured by this unexpected attack. There is blood on his lips and he passes out. The Cyan Little Fox shakes him. It is very upset. It doesn't understand why this human cultivator is always in a coma. The saintess's attention was finally attracted by the cloth strip's action twice. The light curtain stopped temporarily and no longer shrunk inwards. Some of the animals were able to escape death. However, the dead animals and creatures can never come back to life. Their blood and flesh are all over the 8 light curtains. The The blood and flesh are transformed into a kind of energy that Lin Luoran can't understand. The energy is transferred to the jade stairs. What a sneaky guy. The saintess stops walking. She stops and stares at the direction Lin Luoran is looking at. The dirty cloth comes from the fog. There is a man's laughter in the fog. The road to heaven is built with bones. After so many years, you are still the same. Lin Luoran checks Wen Guanjing. She is relieved when she is sure that he only fainted because of the vibration of his blood and qi. The mysterious person who saved them is a man. Lin Luoran is sure. However, why does the man's laughter sound crazy? Unlike Lin Luoran, the saintess doesn't look good. It has been so many years. So, which old friend of mine is joking with me? The saintess doesn't look good when she thinks that the man might be an old friend of hers. In her memory, there is no old friend whom she has a good relationship with. Someone who can call someone like that must be an enemy. That person stopped hiding and slowly walked out of the thick fog. Without the glory of a hero, the one who saved Lin Luoran is obviously not a prince riding a white horse. He is just a Taoist in a dirty Taoist robe. His face seems to be covered with stains, and there is a small wooden stick in his hair bun. He seems to be in his 50s, but because of his slovenly appearance, he looks much older. Lin Luoran feels that the man looks familiar, but she is sure that she has never seen such a Taoist before. The saintess has the same feeling as her. The saintess doesn't know this dirty and ragged Taoist priest at all, so how can he be an old friend? However, how does he know that this is a road to heaven? The more I live, the more timid I become. The holy maiden muttered to herself, flicked her sleeves, and turned around. The Taoist is crazy and ignores Lin Luoran. He claps his hands and laughs. Who is the most pitiful person in the world? The Yellow Emperor is the most pitiful person. He doesn't even know that his daughter has been replaced. Who is the most pitiful person in the world? Chiyu is the most pitiful person. Holy girl of Jiolili? She is so funny. Lin Luoran is confused by the Taoist's words. She only knows the key words Yellow Emperor, Chiyu, and Holy Girl of Jiolili. The Yellow Emperor and Chiyu are mythical figures in ancient times. Lin Luoran has certainly heard of them. Speaking of the Jioli tribe, most people may not know about it. However, when it comes to Chiyu, many people know about the Battle of Zhulu, and Chiyu is the leader of the Jioli tribe. Lin Luoran thinks of these legends in Huaxia mythology. It sounds like the saintess has something to do with these mythical figures in ancient times. However, Lin Luoran only knows that the daughter of the Yellow Emperor is called Ba. There is no holy girl of Jiolili. What was going on? Were these crazy Taoists talking nonsense? Or had these myths and legends been covered up after thousands of years? Hearing this, the saintess trembles slightly. Her eyes, which are exactly the same as Baojia's, are narrow and beautiful. There is surprise and coldness in them. No matter who you are, you will die today. The saintess rode on the four-hoof fire beast and descended. Provoked by this crazy Taoist, she gave up climbing the jade stairs that she had been climbing for a long time and landed in the desert. At such a close distance, the saintess's face is so beautiful. She looks exactly the same as Baojia. Thinking of Baojia, Lin Luoran pauses for a moment. She looks at the crazy Taoist and finally realizes why he looks so familiar. She has heard this description of a crazy Taoist from Commander Qin so many times. How can she not be impressed? Yes, who else will come to save them except for this crazy Taoist who is related to Baojia by blood? He is still alive. Lin Luoran suddenly remembers that this person is probably an elder of Commander Qin's grandmother. A cultivator in the level of laying foundation can live up to 200 years. Does this mean that he has at least bearing essence? There are cultivators in the level of bearing essence on the earth. Lin Luoran's pupils shrink. She thinks of the saintess who has something to do with ancient times. There are not only cultivators in the level of bearing essence, but also cultivators in the level of bearing essence. The saintess has started to attack the crazy Taoist. It is not a spell or a spell of sword. It is a spiritual attack. Lin Luoran feels a tingling pain in her head. The four-hoof fire beast also rushes up. Obviously, it wants to bully Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran has been irritated by the Saintess, who is regarded as a nonentity by everyone except herself. Seeing the four-hoof fire beast, Lin Luoran slashes the beast with the bright sword without mercy. As soon as the crazy Taoist moves, he can't hide his momentum. Lin Luoran feels that he is indeed more than the level of laying foundation. However, the strange thing is that he is not as unpredictable as the Saintess, and he is not afraid of her spiritual attack. Who are you? The Saintess's voice is sharp. She is angry because her attack has failed. The crazy Taoist laughs while dodging. I'm here to send you away. But you have to leave this body. The Saintess suddenly stopped and smiled. She was indescribably beautiful and moving. It's her honor to be able to go with this Saintess. How can the earth compare to the place I want to go? Her voice is so quiet and her smile is so dignified. At this moment, she is in line with the Saintess that she calls herself. Lin Luoran glances at her and agrees with her. If this is really Baojia, it is a good choice for her to go with her. The four-hoof fire beast notices that Lin Luoran is absent-minded and suddenly roars like thunder. Lin Luoran wakes up, but she is hurt by the roar of the four-hoof fire beast. The Taoist screams, "You traitorous Kueox! The Saintess of the Jili tribe kicked you 3 times, and you have forgotten who you used to be." The Taoist scolds angrily. Obviously, he is not fooled by the Saintess. After scolding the Kueox, he scolds the Saintess, "I am just crazy, but I am not stupid. What do you mean by going to a better place? This body is so weak that it will only be torn apart by the cracks in space. What's the use of taking her body? Give it back, and I will let you go." Lin Luoran is dizzy. The inherent myth system of Huaxia is completely subverted tonight. She knows about the Kueox. It is said that the Yellow Emperor, under the instruction of the Fairy of the Ninth Heaven, captured the Kueox, which lives in the Liuba Mountain in the East Sea. It looks like a bull, can walk on 1 foot, and can enter and exit the water like wind and rain. Its eyes are as bright as the sun and the moon, and its voice is as loud as thunder. The Yellow Emperor skinned it and made it into a kind of drum to fight against Chiyu. The Kueox in front of her has a powerful roar like thunder. It has a single horn and a body like a bull, but it has 4 feet. It is both similar and different from the legend. Lin Luoran doesn't understand the word traitor. She doesn't care about the Saintess or the beast. She only knows that the body is Baojia's. Is Baojia still alive? Lin Luoran doesn't know. However, even if she is dead, she can't let Baojia be torn apart by the cracks in space. Lin Luoran clenches her fists and has an impulse to tear the Saintess into pieces. The Saintess stares at the crazy Taoist. The magic circle has been opened. "I can give up this body. But who are you? How dare you command me?" She suddenly laughs as if she has gone crazy. "You damn barbarians! How dare you try to command the noble Saintess? The Yellow Emperor, Chiyu, and even you, a cultivator of Qi, are so arrogant. It seems that time has made you forget how powerful I am." Lin Luoran doesn't understand why the Saintess calls them barbarians. However, after the Saintess vents her anger, she waves her hands and the desert under her feet becomes hotter. The yellow sand moves away and a stream of lava spurts out. The crazy Taoist remains unmoved. Lin Luoran picks up Cyan Little Fox and Wen Guanjing, who is in a coma. Lin Luoran is familiar with the myth system. She thinks of the desert, the lava, the Yellow Emperor, Chiyu, and other keywords. If she still doesn't know who this ghost Saintess is, she will be a disgrace to the Huaxia people. The problem is, since she is the daughter of the Yellow Emperor, why does she call them barbarians? Lin Luoran looks at the Kueox vigilantly. The lava is getting closer and closer. Lin Luoran must be ready to run. There are 2 people and 1 beast standing on the yellow sand. The lava is rolling, but the crazy Taoist is not afraid at all. Lin Luoran doesn't know what he is relying on. Soon, Lin Luoran knows why the crazy Taoist is so confident. A slight sound comes from the jade stairs. The seemingly solid jade stairs shake while the crazy Taoist is clapping his hands. Lin Luoran is in disbelief, and the Saintess is furious. Then, it collapses. That's right. Not only the jade stairs collapse, But also the light curtain disappears. Half of the dead animals are standing in the pool of blood. They can't believe that they can escape so suddenly. With the sound of the polar axis turning, the plane sinks as it came. In an instant, there are only a few people, spreading lava and broken jade on the desert. The desert becomes endless yellow sand again. The heavenly road paved with thousands of skeletons was destroyed just like that. The Saintess finally can't stand it anymore. She screams to the sky. The lava is rolling. She finally goes crazy. Chapter 198. The broken jade stairs collapse in the desert and are soon buried by the yellow sand. It used to be sacred, but now it is just a pile of broken jade. The sky is full of twinkling stars. Lin Luoran doesn't know if it is her illusion or because of the road to heaven that existed a moment ago. Lin Luoran always feels that the starry sky tonight is so bright that she can't look at it directly. However, the problem at hand is how to get Baojia's body back. The lava is rolling and the fire beast is roaring. The Saintess who has been ignoring Lin Luoran and others is finally furious. No one knows how many years she has waited to open the road to heaven. Tonight the jade stairs have collapsed. If she wants to leave this place, maybe it will be another 1,000 years. However, in the eyes of the crazy Taoist, maybe the Saintess doesn't have another 1,000 years. At this moment, they have reached a consensus: kill each other. This is not a battle that Lin Luoran can intervene in. As a cultivator in the level of laying foundation, she knows herself very well. Since she has guessed that the Saintess might be the legendary Hanba and she has seen the Saintess' ability to control the lava, Lin Luoran can only hide like a thief and wait for the critical moment to help the crazy Taoist to get Baojia's body back. Lava is everywhere. The crazy Taoist is still the same. He claps his hands and stomps his feet from time to time and talks nonsense. He doesn't fight back at all. Lin Luoran is worried. She can't help but wonder if he has really gone crazy after so many years. The four-hoof fire beast roars. In the lava all over the sky, the crazy Taoist finally moves. He throws out the dirty cloth and wraps it around the horn of the Kuei cow. Lin Luoran almost falls off the flying sword. The dirty strip of cloth is so coquettish that it has been stealing the limelight tonight. However, it is just a rag. How can it deal with the Kuei cow, which doesn't look powerful but is still an ancient beast? Obviously, Lin Luoran is not the only one who has doubts. The Saintess shows a scornful and cruel smile. The crazy Taoist is entangled by the Kuei cow. She waves her hand and the lava pours to the crazy Taoist. The Kuei ox keeps struggling, but the cloth is not broken. The man and the beast are in a stalemate. The crazy Taoist has nowhere to run. The lava is pouring down from above. Lin Luoran is worried. The crazy Taoist is in the level of bearing essence. Even she and Wen Guanjing can resist the lava for a while. The crazy Taoist must be prepared. In the Saintess's laughter and Lin Luoran's worry, the lava finally falls to the ground. The crazy Taoist looks tired. What made everyone's jaws drop was that Kuei ox. It was still struggling, but it was indeed bound by the rag. With a thunderous roar, the Kuei ox obviously couldn't accept this fact. It transformed into its original body in the lava and suddenly grew to the height of a building. Not to mention the crazy Taoist, even all the people present were like hills in front of the transformed Kuei ox. A dirty and torn strip of cloth was wrapped around the huge horn. Due to the disparity in size, it was stretched thin and seemed to be on the verge of breaking. But it didn't budge. The scene was extremely comical, and no one could laugh at it. Lin Luoran couldn't help but exclaim. She was so shocked by the rag that she couldn't calm down. The Saintess finally started to take off the rag. It was extremely dirty, smelly, and had no reiki at all. This was the Saintess's conclusion after a glance. The problem was that the Kuei ox was bound by such a rag, so the Saintess couldn't take it lightly. The Kuei ox revealed its original body. The air coming out of its nose was extremely hot. The drum made of its skin could be heard hundreds of miles away, which boosted the morale of the troops of the Yellow Emperor. Therefore, the lava naturally couldn't hurt it. But now, it was wriggling under a piece of torn cloth. Just thinking about it was absurd. Maybe because the scene was so weird, Lin Luoran and the Saintess both forgot that when the lava was poured on the crazy Taoist, there was no flash of any Reiki treasure. The crazy Taoist just stood in the rolling lava, unharmed. The red lava was rolling. Because the light was too bright, the stains on the crazy Taoist's blue Taoist robe became more obvious. He really didn't look like a master at all. He had the Kuei Ox under control. However, at this time, the crazy Taoist went crazy again. He took off the rag. The Kuei Ox didn't react at first, but soon it became angry and wanted to take revenge for being bound. The horn of the Kuei Ox was shining and stiff. It was about to poke the crazy Taoist. The crazy Taoist raised his right hand holding the rag. He is no longer tying her up, but whipping her. The moment the crazy Taoist raises the cloth, his temperament changes. He is no longer crazy or stupid. At this moment, he is so serious that people can even ignore the greasy Taoist robe he is wearing. Pa! The rag hit the Kuei Ox. The Kuei Ox stopped the first time, and so did the Saintess. The former couldn't move, and the latter felt that this scene was a bit familiar. Pa! The rag broke when it hit the Kuei Ox for the second time. Although it was still dirty and smelly, no one dared to look down on it anymore. Because the Kuei Ox shrank at a speed visible to the naked eye after being whipped 3 times. Pa pa pa. The crazy Taoist whipped several times. The enlarged body of the Kuei Ox shrank again and again. What's more, the spirit of the Kuei Ox seemed to be taken away by the rag. The Kuei Ox was not as arrogant as before. Lin Luoran hoped that the crazy Taoist would whip it a few more times to get rid of this ancient beast. However, the Saintess screamed. Her sharp voice almost broke Lin Luoran's eardrum. Whip? How could the whip be in the hands of a chi trainer? Who are you? The crazy Taoist ignored her and continued to whip it a few more times. The Kuei Ox became even smaller. It was as small as a rabbit in the underground world. It was not as powerful as before. Lin Luoran stares at the crazy Taoist's rags and swallows. Under the dirty appearance, there was unimaginable power. The Saintess called it whip. What kind of being could be called a god? This may be an exaggeration, but this rag is obviously much better than Li Shi-er's fishing line magic weapon, bundling rope, even though it doesn't look good. At least, Lin Luoran noticed that the Saintess's face changed. She was angry and dignified. The Saintess with long hair floated in the air. Under her feet was rolling lava. In the distance, the sky was full of yellow sand and rolling sand dunes. The starry sky was the background. Looking at her from afar, the Saintess really did have the surreal feeling of a deity descending to the mortal world. However, the crazy Taoist held the whip, which looked like a rag, and whipped the Kuei Ox several times. It seemed that the Kuei Ox was pretending to be weak. Lin Luoran felt that the ancestor of Baojia was covered with the halo of the protagonist of the novel. The Saintess became serious, and then she sneered, "I was almost fooled by you. I once saw the whip being destroyed. How could it be in the hands of a chi trainer?" The Saintess was sure that the Kuei Ox had been sleeping for so many years that it became useless. The weather was still the same tonight. If she could get rid of the chi trainer, the Kuei Ox might be able to rebuild the ladder of heaven. The crazy Taoist burst into laughter. "So what? It is more than enough to whip a fake Saintess like you." Whip to whip the fake Saintess. Lin Luoran praised in her heart. Even though her personal ability was not high, she was still very proud. Why couldn't she fight against the fake Saintess? Lin Luoran put the cyan little fox and Wen Guanjing on the sand dune far away and joined the battle on her sword. The Saintess raised her eyebrows. At that moment she felt so much like Baojia. "In fact, I am quite curious. How can you be so courageous with your personal ability?" As the Saintess spoke, she attacked Lin Luoran with a spirit thorn. Even though Lin Luoran was prepared, she still almost fell from the flying sword because of the pain. Lin Luoran's face turned pale and she said stubbornly, "Get out of my friend's body, or I will kill you." Because of the seriousness of the word, the Saintess finally moved her eyes away. For the first time, she looked at Lin Luoran seriously. With her personal ability, her spiritual power was not bad. It was a pity that she didn't know how to use it properly. The flying sword was not bad. It should be the work of a high-level chi trainer. Although he was a native of a poor galaxy, the Saintess had to admit that the cultivation civilization of Huaxia had developed to a frightening level. Fortunately, everything had been destroyed. The female cultivator in front of her had a low personal ability. Even though she had a good weapon, she couldn't make full use of it. What scared the Saintess was the whip in the crazy Taoist's hand. No one knew better than her just how powerful the real God-striking whip was, especially to a high-level race like her. Fortunately, the whip in the crazy Taoist's hand was not real. Damn it! Why didn't the lava work on the crazy Taoist? The Saintess realized that the crazy Taoist was safe and sound. She had a bad feeling. It was the same auspicious snow. Wherever the bright sword went, the snow and the lava collided fiercely. The annoying heat was swept away and snow began to fall in the air. Although the Saintess was disdainful of Lin Luoran's personal ability, her current body couldn't withstand the attack of the flying sword. Looking at the white sword which was full of killing intent, the Saintess sneered. These earth cultivators were always so hypocritical. They said that it was their friend's body and they had to get it back, but at the same time, they mercilessly attacked this body with the fiercest sword move. The Saintess sneered and stood in the air without dodging. She didn't mind giving up this body. The sword light was cold. Lin Luoran shook her wrist and the bright sword brushed past the Saintess's cheek, adding a small snowflake to her eyebrow. She couldn't do it in the end? The Saintess moved her fingers. If she couldn't do it in the fight, she had to die. Her fingers were like hooks. She wanted to tear Lin Luoran apart with the strength of her fingers. A light piece of cloth flew over and whipped her back. The Saintess staggered and almost fell into the lava. In a hurry, she saw the smile in the eyes of the hateful female chi trainer. The whip almost whipped her out of this body. Damn it, it was the real whip. The Saintess suspected that this was a well-prepared trap. The crazy Taoist didn't care about her and whipped her again. Chapter 199. Pitter-patter. The crazy Taoist lashes several times. The Saintess has no way to escape. She can only watch the rag falling on her body. Lin Luoran notices that the rag makes a different sound from when it was whipping the Kuei cow. Therefore, the Saintess doesn't become smaller. She just panics a little. As the crazy Taoist lashes, a ball of light comes out of Baojia's forehead and runs into the ground. The lava disappears with the light. The crazy Taoist chases after Baojia. Lin Luoran catches Baojia who falls to the ground. Baojia's eyes are closed and she looks peaceful. When Lin Luoran holds her wrist, she can still feel her pulse. Fortunately, Baojia is still alive. As long as she is alive, there is hope. Lin Luoran is relieved. The sand dunes soon cover the traces left by the lava. If it weren't for the broken jade stairs and the dispirited Kuei cow, Lin Luoran would think that she is dreaming. Come to think of it, what happened tonight? A woman who claims to be the Saintess, probably Hanba, the daughter of the Yellow Emperor, occupied Baojia's body in a way similar to possession. She tried to climb the jade stairs and leave the earth? Lin Luoran can't help but look aside. The broken jade is still lying in the desert and most of it has been covered by the yellow sand. Even though it was huge in size, it was much smaller than when it was floating in the air. It is obviously refined. Lin Luoran doesn't know how the crazy Taoist destroyed it. After all, Lin Luoran used to work for Lu's family and knows more about jade than ordinary people. However, she still can't recognize this kind of jade, including the materials on cultivation given to her by White Fairy. It is milky white on the outside, but there is cyan light inside. Well, this color is familiar. Lin Luoran looks at the cyan little fox. The little fox is pretending to be silly. Lin Luoran knows that the cunning little fox won't say anything even if it knows something, so she has to give up the idea. Lin Luoran puts her hand on the broken jade. She wants to feel the material of the jade. However, after a series of cracking sounds, the broken jade starts to roll on its own. Lin Luoran thinks that something has changed again. She is startled and looks at the Kuei cow alertly. The Kuei cow is obviously still dispirited and looks very innocent. The broken jades roll on their own and turn back into jade stairs. Lin takes a step back and the jade stairs shrink again and again. They become a model of stairs and fly towards Lin. Lin Luoran can't help but open her hands. The mini jade stairs fall into her hands, shining with a kind of crystal beauty. It was just that it was full of cracks, which somewhat destroyed the harmony. The flight of stairs only had 9 steps in total. When he thought about its enlarged appearance, towering into the heavens, he didn't know who it was that used great divine ability to refine it. Lin Luoran can't help but look at the jade stairs carefully. She finds that there are some tiny light spots on the back of the stairs, just like the stars in the sky. A big one is surrounded by several smaller ones. Lin Luoran is fascinated by them. The more he looked at it, the more familiar it seemed. If these light spots can rotate along the orbit, Lin Luoran looks up at the sky full of stars. Solar system? These light spots are the solar system. Something in the stairs seems to be sucking in Lin Luoran's spiritual mind. In the endless void, a vast starry sky unfolds in front of her. Some are big and some are small. The nearest one is a blue planet, like a glass marble, which is particularly conspicuous in the dark void. Water swamp covers 70% of the area. Lin Luoran is so familiar that she can almost recognize it as the Earth at a glance. In addition, she immediately finds the nearest star. With a thought, the star zooms in front of her as if it is pulled in front of her. The ground is full of potholes. Although she can't touch it directly, Lin Luoran can feel the feeling of time being blown by the wind. Is this the moon? Where is the moon? The dark sky is dotted with countless stars, which makes people want to explore and linger. It is really beautiful. Lin Luoran unconsciously wants to see another star, but she hears a shout in her ears. Wake up! Along with this shout, there is a thunderous cry of the Kuei cow. Lin Luoran comes back to her senses. Her eyes are confused. After a while, she can see clearly that it is the crazy Taoist standing in front of her. Thinking of what happened before, she is suddenly shocked. The crazy Taoist is a little tired. He doesn't know how the light of the saintess is doing. Seeing that Lin Luoran has woken up, he says in a low voice, "How dare you? You have just laid foundation. How dare you explore the star atlas? If I had come out a little later, you would have been lost in the starry sky and could never find your way back." Was the first thing he saw a star chart? This is just the stars on the first step. If she had looked at the stars on the second step at the beginning, something bad would have happened before the crazy Taoist came out. Lin Luoran feels sad. Because of the crazy Taoist, she doesn't dare to steal such a treasure. She hurries to give the jade stairs to him. The crazy Taoist looks at it with a trace of craziness and a trace of desire. Maybe because of his strong mind, he finally refuses Lin Luoran's intention. Put it away. It is a thank you for helping this girl enter the Tao. The crazy Taoist is willing to give away such a precious treasure. It shows how much he values this descendant of his. Thinking of her friend's condition, Lin Luoran is worried and takes Baojia in her arms. "Master, Baojia." Lin Luoran's eyes turn red. She did this out of kindness. If she didn't want Baojia to go out and relax, she wouldn't have taken her to Africa. How could this happen? The crazy Taoist checks and seems to be relieved. "Don't worry. She won't die." Lin Luoran sniffles and smiles through tears. "Master, really? When will she wake up?" "It's just that she can't die. When did I say that she would wake up?" Although the fake saintess can't hurt her because of her bloodline, her cultivation is low and her ocean of consciousness has just been formed. Now that she has been brutally invaded, she is already fragmented. If we wake her up now, she will be like a newborn with a blank mind. The crazy Taoist seems to be fine. Only Lin Luoran, who is listening, feels as if she has been hit hard. She says bitterly, "What do you mean by a blank mind?" The crazy Taoist rolls his eyes to cover up his tiredness. "To be clear, if we wake her up now, she will become a fool." Lin Luoran pinches her palm. She can't help crying. Baojia is smart and proud. She won't allow herself to become a fool even if she dies. Lin Luoran feels that thousands of ants named regret are gnawing her heart. She has endless resentment but nowhere to vent it. She wants to tear the Saintess into pieces. Do you want to take revenge on the fake Saintess? Lin Luoran's thoughts are written on her face. The crazy Taoist can't see it. No need. I have sealed her again. She won't be able to come out again in less than 1,000 years. Sealed. The crazy Taoist is only in the level of bearing essence. Even with the holy whip, can he really seal an ancient figure like Hanba? Lin Luoran knows it's not good to doubt someone's ability. She is just curious. This matter happened a long time ago. On account that you once saved this girl's life and guided her into the Tao, I can tell you something. The crazy Taoist is obviously not the kind of person who talks incoherently. It seems that he is not pretending to be crazy. Lin Luoran doesn't know what stimulated him to make a cultivator in the level of bearing essence crazy. Lin Luoran sighs secretly. It takes Lin Luoran a long time to figure out what he is talking about. The story could be traced back to the ancient times. In the beginning, the Yellow Emperor and Qiyu were the leaders of two tribes that did not have any conflict with each other. Later, the Yellow Emperor had a daughter named Hanba. This girl was blessed by the heavens and was born with the ability to control fire. Even in the ancient times, where everyone was known as the divine people and everyone had some supernatural abilities, this was still rare. So the Yellow Emperor doted on her. As Hanba grew up, she became friends with Qiyu of the Jili tribe. Because of her kindness, she helped the tribe a lot. She was elected as the Saintess as an outsider. Lin Luoran feels that Hanba and Qiyu are in love with each other. Marrying his daughter to the leader of the Jili tribe is like a marriage between business families. It is good for both sides. Naturally, the Yellow Emperor is happy about the marriage. One day, Hanba came back from the mountains. Since then, her temperament changed. She not only broke the promise of marriage but also started a war between the two tribes. The war gradually spread between the two tribes. The resources of the ancient times were exhausted. Then, the war gradually settled down. Later, when he calmed down and thought about why they started the war in the first place, he felt that there was something wrong with the cold and cruel Hanba. But at that time, neither the Yellow Emperor nor Qiyu could stop the war until Qiyu died. Lin Luoran doesn't know what happened between Hitorigami and Qiyu. The crazy Taoist didn't tell her anything either. He only mentioned that the underground world was built by Qiyu for Hitorigami. This is the fake Hitorigami's preparation to return to where she came from. Of course, the Yellow Emperor is not the final winner in the war between the tribes. Neither is Qiyu. Hanba is the winner. Lin Luoran doesn't understand what he means. The crazy Taoist only says one sentence: she used to be the Saintess of the Jili tribe. She used to be called Hanba. She also used to be the favorite concubine of the feudal lords. She used to be called Baosi and Daji. This woman participated in the course of history and promoted the change of dynasties behind the scenes. According to the crazy Taoist, the decline of the cultivation civilization on the earth has something to do with the fake Saintess. One person can influence the civilization of a planet. If Lin Luoran didn't experience the blood sacrifice and the road to heaven tonight, she would never believe it. Until now, the crazy Taoist is still not sure who the fake Saintess is and where she comes from. However, he is sure that she is obviously not from the earth. Lin Luoran feels like she is listening to a science fiction story. However, the reason why the crazy Taoist can seal the spiritual body of the fake Saintess when he is only at the level of bearing essence is his identity. He is the last direct descendant of the Jili tribe. Since the Han Dynasty, Qi trainers have flourished again because the fake Saintess is no longer involved in the course of history. She was sealed in the Kalahari Desert by the Jili tribe at the cost of the whole tribe. This is the underground world built by the Jili tribe. Lin Luoran gasps when she hears that the whole tribe is sacrificed. What kind of hatred does it take to make such a decision? The crazy Taoist is the only direct descendant of the Jili tribe. Baojia can survive from the hands of the fake Saintess because she has the bloodline of the Jili tribe. However, no matter how powerful the bloodline of the Jili tribe is, It can't compare to Baojia's current situation. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.